Immediately got
Right.
20% more scared.
Let us start with this. Talira. There's not a noise that accompanies the space as you can feel the flightlessness of air as you're swept off your feet and it's almost the world goes silent and you land on the ground. The sun's warmth basks you from above, but the heat itself feels like it's leaving your body. What do you think to Lyra, like what other sensations do you think stand out to Lyra in the moment that she was gored?
Oof. I I think as in like the moment of shock where she's not really. I think the thing that she noticed would be the way that the wind is blowing. She's a sailor and a traveler, and that's the kind of thing she has learned to pay attention to. And so it's a very like dissociated sort of recognition of like, oh, I didn't notice that before.
You could barely feel the wind as well as the motion and see it around almost because your vision itself is blurry almost instantly. You can feel where Yin was and is running, rushing to you. You can see the two small figures, but it's like your body is drawing in the energy it would need to actually produce vision to deal with the other problems it's dealing with right now. It's like all your senses feel dulled because your body is just, hey, we can't put energy towards that. Has like the closest she has gotten to quote unquote a restful moment. What do you think Talira, if she died right now, would regret the most?
I I think there's an obvious answer. I'm trying to decide whether she would realize it in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think she would. It's Yura. I don't know if she has the specific like concise thought of I would regret X, but like the thing she thinks about, of course, is her family, especially her children. Honestly, probably thinking of them 10 years ago, the last time that they were all happy together.
You remember a nice dining table, everyone gathered around 10 years prior, all for you, and then that blinks out. Mark one stress as you saw something, you're clinging to it, but even when you do awake, not all of this regret will manifest, but just that lingering change in disposition. Torlin, you are just hunting some deer hind, right? It's the easiest thing in the world. You're like, yeah, just having some fun. And then the thud hits of Tillera's body hitting the ground. This is real. She just died. Where does Torlin's mind go to in terms of what's going to happen next? Who's next?
I think it's a million non-important things run through his mind. One thing of immediately like not wanting to believe it. Another thing of like, oh, of course the storming happened. Another thing of what's it called instinctively and like subconsciously being like looking to someone to almost figure out what to do before immediately superseded by just training of being taught to do something before you lose yourself to panic.
You look in front of you, And Terravon's there also, like almost shocked still, but you see his hand, like, you know, spasms towards his sword, right? But he still is locked by fear.
I think it's in that moment where Torlin looks at that, looks back up at Teleria, and grabs Terravon's hand, making the decision of Terravon, we have to go.
We flash from that now to moments later. The white spine is gone, just a distant roar off to the side. Yin, your eyes are down, hand pressed in a wound in a cart. There's blood left on the ground from where you carried her in here. There's blood still gushing through your fingers. You just can't help but think she's dead. You killed her. You did it. Just like, did you kill her? She was there in front of you, where you should have been. What is going through Yin's mind right now?
Um, yeah, I think uh, as she's looking down at Talira's pallid face, uh, there's like maybe it's just the sweats getting in her eyes, but for a second, it sort of flashes to her mom's face, um, and then back again, and her hands are shaking so badly, but she's trying to keep in the moment of like she can't be uh like this can't be happening. This can't be happening a second time. And I think there is a little bit of that sort of like under her breath coming out. Um like not again. Please don't let this happen again. Um as she is desperately trying to keep Talir alive.
You're focused so hard, it's hard to actually take anything else in, but you're alone with your thoughts as your hands are doing the motions. Is the pain worth it? Yours, hers, worth you being in her life? How does Yin confront these thoughts in the wake of the conversation last night where you told what the Night Watcher did to you and confronted the fact that all this life was almost manufactured?
Oh, um, I think she's not sure if part of the price is that she has had to pay is not just the memories being like overwritten with new faces, but uh just like the yeah, you lost your family and that can never be unchanged. So even if you get it back for a little while, you're going to lose them again. Um,
You look down at Claire's face and you can already feel the worry, the tears, like what if it happens again? And we flash forward, but both in the future as well in the past. You're there, Yin. You're like stooped down next to watching your mom bandage a Chull who shattered her leg. Your real mom, Holly, as you guys have been marching what seems for the better part of the day now, and the Chull who drags this cart forward has leg is shattered. Your mom, as she's
oh
done
no.
before, right away, like, called off travel for the day, tended to the Chull's leg wound and whatnot. Now, the leg wound's not that bad, and many other travelers you've come across, you've seen their Chulls like get hurt in a similar way, but none of them stop because Chulls have multiple legs. They are creatures that are almost used to like, hey, yeah, if an injury like this happens, it's even more reason to keep walking. It's in their nature to keep forcing themselves to move. And so what your mom does
Yeah.
is usually like very much not towards the animal's nature and also not towards the nature of other travelers that use Chulls for their carts, right? As you were just stooped by her, watching her as she bandages the Chull's leg, what does your mom look like in all except her face?
Uh, she's a like a tall, very lithe woman, um, who is clad in all sorts of different like colors and patterns, all things that either she has woven herself or uh like someone in the family has woven like a long time ago. Um and somehow Ian has always thought that like despite the fact that none of these colors or patterns should really go together, they do for her somehow. Like she's just like telling them like you're gonna make this work and they're like yes ma'am, as everybody else in the whole family does. um and I think yeah she has like gold and silver like mix matched jewelry,
Mm-hmm.
um and like little like woven bracelets that her kids and or nephews have made, um, and hair very similar to Yin's, just very long braid down the back.
Mm-hmm. She a bright air about her, a resolute personality, but at the same time harmony with the colors and surroundings. What do you think in this memory, Yin, very young child, like, how do you think she directly asks what no one else even questions your mom about? Like, yeah, why are we fucking stopping?
Uh, oh, that's a great question. I think Yin, who's always been like a very curious person, and like
Like 30 seconds. I did
oh
not hear
no,
the, like, at least first part of that response.
uh, sorry, I think she just like maybe there was like another caravan with them that was like, yeah, we're not stopping for a chol. Thanks, but no thanks. And like Yin, who is an animal lover also, and obviously like if this is like their chol, she's probably like imprinted on it as people do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but she's like watching these other people like leave and just trying to like put that together in her head as to how that works. And so I think she like looks to her mother and is like, "Do we should we keep moving? Why like something wrong? Why do we have to? Why are we stopped? Why are we staying stopped?"
In the mistiness of this memory, you see the lower half of your mom's face smile and says, well, Ian, do you recall why we walked the long trail?
So we can share our stories with the one.
Exactly. So that we may experience and then return with those experiences to the one. Now, there's no difference in the experience on a hard day's road versus a hard day's rest. Like you said here, this child has done quite a bit for us, and though it would be very well suited to continuing on, I don't think a day's rest is anything to feel bad about. Do you?
I don't think he had like words answers. I think she just like nods very quietly and then just like sort of sidles up beside her and like continues to watch her like work. And then after a few minutes of like when like a kid is like ruminating on an answer like on like some an
Mm-hmm.
answer they've been given, they're like I put this in my head. um After like maybe like 10 minutes she's like asks how she can help, and her mom begins to teach her sort of how to like set a leg and how like the exoskeleton of the chol like heals itself and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Your mom shows you and teaches you like the joints and how to care for the looser tendons and whatnot. Also says like that caravan that left us, they were quite a few merchants in there and they live more so a hurried life, but that's understandable. They have deadlines to meet, wares to sell. But I see us in no rush. Our experiences will all add to the one, And so it's not like we're in a rush to experience things. She finishes binding the leg and then puts her hand on your hair and ruffles it, like telling you, job well done, and lets you know it's like, no matter what, you can remember, even if it's a hard day's road and you feel like you have to carry on, there's nothing wrong with taking a breather here or there. Through those visions, you. Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you're good.
No, you go for it.
No, I was just saying, like, Yin being the little shit that she is, I think it's like, it's like, okay, and then crawls up into her mom's lap and just, like, starts to take a nap.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, all right, fine. We're resting. I'm resting. Let's go.
I think she sits with you there, right, as the other members of your family actually continue preparing the camp, right? You just rest with your head in her lap. The vision leaves with seeing your mom in cloth, in body, and her lower face smiling as she rubs your hair, but you still haven't been able to see that top half of her face throughout this memory. As we return to the present, and you're putting those same skills of binding and understanding of wounds that have been built up since that very first experience to the test. I forgot to say this before, but do still, even though it would have helped this memory a bit, mark that one stress for the events prior.
Okay, hold on. I'm reloading Foundry because it just died.
Yes, it
Yeah.
probably died for everyone when I disconnected.
Okay.
Well, this was a while after at this point.
Oh.
Like we saw a lost connection thing, but it stayed on, and then, like towards the very end of that scene, this happened.
Ooh. Okay. Well, hopefully, there's no drastic issue. Oh, okay, no. Let me just make sure on my end it's good as well.
Yeah, the stream's still going fine in terms of having Foundry up.
Did it change the IP? No, it did not. Okay, that should be good. Okay, and hopefully, let me know if it doesn't let you connect or anything, but we will move now back to Torlin, actually, as you are walking away from the campsite. A day of fun on your journey, like the others have been, of hunting Axheims, have turned into something else. As you walk away, still Teravon's disappointed look in your mind. Coward, failure, burden. Your own thoughts start just racing ahead after that one word. Implication. Burden, afterthought. The first thing you do with any shred of responsibility is run. Why do you even exist when they don't anymore? Does Torlin think that if either of your brothers had survived, would you have still just continued letting them take care of things?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think instinctively a part of him goes there. The idea of letting someone better, someone stronger, someone older take care of things. And then the other part of him immediately recoils at that, as it just compounds that idea of coward, wasted effort, burden. And he just tries his best to push it out of his mind even the concept of what would have my brothers done.
Mark, one stress whenever Boundary starts working, but what does Torlin do as he is walking away from the campsite at the moment?
I think he finds somewhere not too far, somewhere you can still keep an eye on the caravan itself. Uh, and in general, just keep an eye on to see if anything approaches at this point in the night. But still somewhere where you can feel secluded, feel like he's by himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes out his effectively just his herbalism kit
What does that look like?
because I think it's fairly rudimentary. It's a pouch with there's a pouch with some like different like leaves in it, or not even leaves. What would is there leaves in here? No, there's leaves in here. Uh, with like a couple looking leaves, a couple of um like small like shoddier vials, and I think be interesting like almost like a mini mortar and pestle kind of thing to when you need to like grind things up. As he just sits down and it that today was bad, but he still has a job to do here. And that starts with him preparing for the next day, as he always has to.
You focus, you start just churning away like many a night before. A night when at first your mom was just busy and so couldn't answer a question or whatnot. She said she would later. A night when even Liz was going to read you something but got called away by Nessa. Another night where, for some other reason, you found yourself alone. You just started, okay, what can I do for tomorrow? Pressing and concentrating whatever these herbs were into something practical, kind of like you might be trying to do with yourself. What can you do to actually help tomorrow and not just be a burden? We will now move, and I know Foundry's still not working, but I'll do one last thing before we try to fix it. To Lyra, still coming in and out of vision now in the cart. I'm going to ask you a question. I must say, having traveled as much as you did as a child, there was one time you fell out the cart. And when you did, what almost pet name did your father call you? And of course a sense of urgency as you fell out of the cart and he was worried for the worst.
Like the nickname that he called her.
Yeah.
Um, I think it wasn't not like a version of her name. I'm trying to think of like, I think it would be a Thalen word for like, this might be too on the nose. But I feel like as a child, Yura was very like, not very stubborn, but sort of like, she was always on the move and always going places and was always like, I'm not gonna let like kind of will not be stopped. And in her adult life, that carried into like, I am correct about this, and like sort of taking charge in a lot of ways. And I almost feel like, and the reason it's so on the nose is because I almost feel like her father would have started calling her like the Thalen word for boulder, and like she just keeps on rolling. Like she will plow through anybody who's in her way.
All right, let's make up some canon. What is the Thalen word for boulder?
Hold please. I don't know. Does this I'm using Google Translate and then
Mm-hmm.
bastardizing from there
Nice, nice.
for ideas. Maybe Balva, which is like very close to the Czech word.
Sure. Balva. I like it. You are in a space almost in between now just because all your physical senses aren't online. You can know that you were carried to the car, that Yin has been over you. There was some conversation off to the side. Would you assume Teravon, Torlin, now just Teravon, and then he moves off to the side of the cart as well, and you're just barely recognizing like silhouettes of motion. And so the other half is like trapped in your head, and you just hear the word Balva, stay strong, Balva, and you realize it's not your father, but a tiny sort of tiny silhouette of a person, like almost by your side of your head, just off the other side where it's not visible, but still trying to shake you with your strength, right? As Nook is just there keeping you strong. This is not a scene in conversation or whatnot, but same thoughts and same ideas that you might have in your head will still be conveyed. What do you think is being conveyed from not Yin, sorry, Talira to Nook at the moment as he is like calling out Balva, strong, stay strong.
I I think two things. One, I don't think she actually moves, but in that way that you're sort of when you're half asleep and you like think that you're moving your body even though you aren't. She tries to reach up and sort of like cup her hand around him almost in the way that like as she would to talk to him many times when she was sort of like secretly like having a little secret conversation with him
Mm-hmm.
in sort of a protective way. Um and I think the other is this is sort of an add-on to her thought before about her family, but it's said now in like I think over the last 10 years, um, there's a lot of things she wouldn't say to other people that she said to Nook in kind of a like her sharing her internal monologue
Mm-hmm.
sort of way. And I think that she, even if she doesn't actually say it out loud, or she does, I don't know, up to you. Um, she kind of like she can't really look at him, but she like imagines looking over at him and just sort of like speaking to the air. Like I I won't get to see what he looks like. Bet Zdeněk has grown up a lot in 2 years.
You will. What are you saying? We see him soon. You just rest first, and then you strong to see him.
It, and then leave again.
No,
Who knows if I'll see him after that?
no. You misunderstand. River flows, water goes, but it then rains and comes back. This is how world works. It's okay if he has his life to live.
Sometimes people don't come back though.
Yes, but they still were there. You remember that the rain was wet, the river was strong, and if there is time, you will see again. You just must make time by being strong now. And I think in that dissonance and haze of like feeling connected but not physically, like your body's not moving, you're not speaking these words, it's almost on a different plane, you're connecting Now stream is back. Okay. I will set the scene back as coming in and out of this to where you are slowly coming to consciousness. Yin, you have like basically cleaned out some bandages, put them to the side, prepared what things you have. Like Talir's at least cared for now, and you're just making sure everything else you have like the resources for bandages when you do need to set them and whatnot. Taravon is sitting off on the side of the cart, almost with his sword in hand, and just like he just seems to be like, you know, trapped in his own head. Torlin's around this time when you are heading back because the sun is beginning to set soon.
I think so Taravon is the one that's here.
Yeah, Taravon is there just at the side of the cart, almost as if like guard duty. You see that still tension is in him and that like he doesn't know what to do, so at the very least he is just like now after Tiller's been treated, like sitting with his sword in his lap, just like looking out in case there's any like the danger comes back.
She thinks for a minute of being like, because like earlier she was like, "You're gonna learn to help me right now. You don't have a choice. I don't care." And she thinks about doing that sort of like if you have time to lean, you have time to clean energy. Just to
I will
keep
say that
him
still happened,
like,
so he did like help you with all the like until you were like, okay,
yeah.
Tiller is good for now.
Yeah, so she's like torn between letting him have a minute to himself, but worried that that minute's just gonna be him fucking beating on himself. Um, and I think very quietly, she's like, "This isn't your fault, you know."
Oh, sorry, what? What? Yes, no, yeah, I know that. It was unexpected after all. Who would have predicted a beast like that on so early into our journey?
She's clocking the practiced response, but I don't think it says anything to that. Um, I think it says she's like, well, if you ever want to try another career path, I think that healer might do well. You picked up things pretty quickly.
I think for the first time he like loses all the glue and just gives you a really puzzled look. And you know it's because like he didn't understand the joke because it was just like such a foreign concept to him, any other career path. It's like, oh yeah, well, I'm glad I could be of help. In either case, Yen, what do we do from here? Isn't I don't know. How's she doing?
Uh, I am getting the fact that like at this point, like she is like resting and recovering, or does she like still in the woods?
Right now it's been maybe 2 hours since the whole incident. So the first night's always the hardest. Talir is still running a fever, temperature's up just because the body's in defense. She's still in the woods just because you know from travel on the road, right? Like how harrowing of an experience this is. You can never count someone completely safe at least until the next day, in which case they're in recovery. At the same time, though, I will say Yin, with her experience, knows that like, yeah, like you guys have supplies to treat Talira, but you don't have like, you have like travel supplies, right? Not like supplies for someone that really needs rest. And for that, you would need a bigger settlement. And kind of going back to that memory you had with your mom, right? Like, if someone had gotten this hurt when you were journeying with your family, you guys would not be moving for a month. That's how like bad the injury is.
Oof. Um, we don't have a month though. I think she looks back to Lyra and sort of like looks at her face to see like one if it changes again or if she was just in a moment of hysteria. but also to see just making sure that she hasn't died while she took her eyes off her for 2 seconds, like almost happened last time. Um, and she says, "We'll stay here for tonight at the very least. Um, if starts to show improvement, we might get back on the road, but she needs time to recover at the very before we start moving her. But she might need more help than we can give. So if we can make it to the next settlement, good. But for now, we wait."
No, yes, of course. Yes, of course. And he seems to be thinking. And you, of course, do see it in his eyes, like, because this is his quote unquote mission. He's like, oh yeah, how bad's the time? But I will say, just from understanding as well, it's not like you guys are on a timetable necessarily, right?
Yeah.
It's like more so,
But I also have like an anxious teenager
yes.
whose like future is at stake.
Yeah, right. But at the same time, it's not like a timetable thing because basically it was assumed your whole journey was going to take months, right? And like, it's just like, oh yeah, don't disappear for years. But, even doubling the time would not be a problem. So that's why, like, even though there isn't a real timetable, it feels like there is just because anxiety.
Okay. But if we needed to stop for an extended period of time, we could do that.
Yes, right? You could do that. It was just that all of you have your own reasons for, like, getting anxious about it.
Yeah.
Teravon will be like, no, yeah, you're right. We did pass that village earlier today, right? The one that, the small one. And you remember the two, like, village girls you described as you were passing by right before the encounter with the White Spine.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't super far behind us, right?
Yeah, that was maybe, like, max. Like, now that you've traveled a bit, it would be about 2 hours as well behind you.
Okay. She's like, is it safe to move Yura at this point, or should we wait here for the night and then move her?
Um,
What is the field medic Iriali telling her?
the field medic Iriali. I think, yeah, you can move her now would be fine, right? Yeah, there's always a possibility, right? Something that you didn't see in her wounds reopens or whatnot. But as long as you're careful, right, I think it's fine.
Okay. Okay. If
I will also say, Torlin, it's at this point you do arrive enough to hear that like, at least this later part of the conversation.
I think we should turn and I think Yin, me who is like trying to say 1,000 different ideas at once, Yin is not that way. She's more internal with her thoughts as she's thinking about what to do in the situation. And I think she decides because the creature they faced is probably still nearby, so getting away from that is probably also a safe bet with someone with freshly bandaged wounds. So I think she takes the head of the caravan, which is a weird feeling when Yura is supposed to be right next to her, and is like, all right, we're going to turn this around and head back to that village, and then we will triage from there.
Okay. Torlin, do you say anything as you do arrive, hear this, and Teravon like nods and starts. You guys didn't really unpack that much, but still starts making sure everything's ready for you guys to move.
Yeah, sometimes unpacking is not important. Sometimes it's just the next best thing.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to think what Torlin would say, because Torlin, I think, would say something. It's just
Well, here, I'll give you a first question. Was he sneaky about coming back, or was he just out in the open?
I think yeah, he doesn't want to talk to Terravon right now. So I think he's sneaky.
Okay. Mm, you are sneaky, so you hear this conversation from, I will say, the other side of the cart. Um, as everyone else, prep sings, and Yin goes to take the front and turn. Um, do you make yourself known to Yin or no?
I think so, but actually, I want to ask a question first
Yeah.
because I'm not actually very familiar with Roshar and like mail and letters kind of thing in terms
Yeah.
of how accessible that is.
You
So I
can
know,
know
like,
glyphs.
yeah, no, I mean, like the idea of the process of actually sending a letter, not like writing one, but um, because I know it happens at some point, uh, but
You can send runners or
idea,
there's span reads.
right? Okay,
I don't know if obviously this is up to Ash as the who is currently in charge of canon. I don't think he ever establishes like specifically any sort of mail system. Assume it's just like a sort of a merchant situation or like you hire a courier situation.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You like ask someone to carry it towards this direction, right? And if they can't get it all the way, they pay someone else to do the rest.
gotcha. 'Cause, yeah, I think where Torlin's mind's at is that he like it's the Yin of like, oh yeah, this is within our time frame. However, it doesn't sit right that Tilia could die here, and everyone else isn't made aware of this in some fashion.
Okay, you do know that there
Mhm.
is span read among Talira's things, which you know specifically because your mom told you that, you know, to use that for conversing with her.
Okay. That does have to be like organized time to actually talk and everything, right?
Like, yeah, you would need to like beep to send them a message for it to like, go through, and then once it's through, like basically you couldn't just send it quickly, right? It would need at least like, hey, I'm calling you. You have to be on the little line, so you have to wait. Maybe like, at a good time, still 5 minutes.
Ring, 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 ring.
Yeah, I think Torlin speaks from behind Yin of just we're going to contact them in the morning to let them know we're held up.
Yin, who was I think was like, where the fuck were you? Um,
Oh, busy.
uh, I was busy. Gosh. Um, uh, I think she just nods. Uh, she's like, just make sure they know that we'll get back on track. I don't want them sending other people after us to try to clean up our mess.
Right.
As you
We
say
don't need
that,
anyone.
Yin, you realize like you're probably gonna have to write it if Tiller is out of commission because these two don't know how to
Oh
write.
shit, yes, fuck, yeah, oops. I think Yin is like, God, this whole men can't read thing is stupid. As she will get the caravan turned around, and then whichever one of the other two chuckle fucks can start driving it while she writes the letter.
I hate to say this, I don't think you can write it in a moving vehicle.
Oh no.
It's really annoying.
Oh yeah, you can. Fucking
Okay,
space bar.
great. She makes them turn it around, and while they're doing that, she writes the letter. Not in the caravan.
Yeah, you just make them wait off to the side for a bit. I think Teravon initially like went to like sit by Talia so someone's with her, right? And then he noticed Torlin's shadow just sit up next to Yin, and then Torlin start driving, right? But he like you can tell he's aware of you, but he has not said anything, Torlin.
Ooh, silent treatment.
After a moment of like everything's ready, Yin, you take a moment. You're writing something in the span read now?
Yes.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was
finish
saying,
your thought.
like basically, do you ask for someone specific, or do you just want to leave a message?
Uh, this is all people back at home base, basically, right? So this wouldn't be
Yes.
like
Yeah, so you could ask for Sile, which is Torlin's mom, right? Or like Teravon's mom, or you could just leave a message with scribes, which would get to them when they get the chance.
yeah, I think she'll just leave a message like she doesn't need to converse with anybody just yet.
Mm-hmm.
And also doesn't want to describe in detail how she really, really threw the pooch on this. Um, so yeah, she just leaves a message that's like, does the village we passed have a name?
Does the what? Sorry.
The village we passed?
Oh,
Going back to
yes. You would, after looking at more of Talira's things, which has maps and things like that, you would say that the village of Grainken, Grainken.
Okay. So yeah, we. Oh god, I fucking. This is the price of playing a game in which I don't know any of the lore. And this creature was called a what?
Oh, a white spine.
Okay. Had a run-in with a white spine outside of Grainken. Uh, uh, tending to the injured at the village, but we'll be back on the road as soon as we are able.
Okay. You leave that message with a scribe that you know are loyal to the service and know that it'll reach one of the bright ladies within the night.
Great.
You
She just like sighs because she really doesn't like dealing with like not that she doesn't like the bright ladies. She just does not like dealing with like the big power move people. She's just like I miss my simple life. It would be really nice if we had it, but I don't.
Leaf like pounces onto your shoulder, like looks at the span read and like tries to bite towards the pen. Also, kind of like well, this is not for us.
She's like, do not eat my fucking span read. We need this.
Looks at you with the cocked expression on the word need, like.
She fucking sighs and pulls out some fucking spheres for him to chew on. She's like, you're the only person in this whole world that I cannot fucking say no to.
Like, he takes the spears and then fucking flies off to sit on top of the cart.
Yeah. Enjoy your perch.
You all
yeah, and then she just sort of looks back to the two boys and is like, all right, are we ready or what?
I'm plenty ready.
Of course, we should make haste. Well, not too much haste. We wouldn't want to open any of her wounds.
I think that was implied already. You didn't have to specify.
Excuse me?
What? Well, you're just gonna assume Yin's obviously gonna go so fast to hurt Tilia some more? Sure. What a bright idea, Teravon.
Enough.
Oh, sorry, that was my own laugh. I love it. Just I want to say that as Ash. Taravon is like, well, I don't know. Considering you're the one with the reins, you might try to run away fast enough for yourself and no one else.
Is that really what you think?
You haven't proved otherwise yet.
You started. As Torlin just looks back forward, and simmers.
Yin is really fucking annoyed that this is happening right now.
You got mom up now.
I know, and she just sort of like, like as they're like sort of like turning away from each other, she's like, if you two make me wish that I was eaten by the white spine any more than I already do, just from this conversation alone, we are never going to the valley. I will turn us right back around right now. So whatever this is, work it out. And she's gonna take the reins from Roland, and she's gonna drive.
I think Torlin just grumbles and just, oh yeah, caravan leader.
And don't you fucking forget it, kid.
Taravon also like looks away a little like, yeah, you're like almost like, you know, it did like, yeah, he shouldn't be like fighting as a High Lord. You guys continue about an hour in on the way. You do come into enough lucidity, Talira, that you know you're in the cart. You know Taravon is seated near you where you're lying down, and the cart is moving. The sunlight has now dimmed almost to complete setting.
I think if she's just coming to, she's not yet like gonna be like try to sit up or anything. If she feels the cart moving, she's still pretty out of it. She's not gonna like try to sit up or anything, but she does after a second of just lying there, like eyes cracked just enough to look up at the sky, will eventually try to like look around a little bit, quietly, without drawing attention to herself.
Yeah, I think you take in your surroundings 5-10 minutes, right, without really doing anything, just slowly more and more coming into realization. Carts moving, Taravon sitting there. You can see Yin's hair from the back, Torlin sitting next to her. I think it takes about like 5-10 minutes and maybe another 5 after that to you to not just realize those details, but then also it seems like the cart's going the wrong direction based on where now you can see the stars coming out and that North Star is slightly skewed.
I think she takes a moment to really look and like, because there's a moment of like, that can't be right. And then like takes another moment to really look and like confirm that they're going in the opposite direction.
Yeah. You confirm it. Taravon's the one that's like, you know, closest and would be watching over you, but he's more so like has his eyes on the back of the cart, almost like he's still like in a tense state looking for danger, and so isn't like watching your face or anything like that, so doesn't see you looking around and fully awake, so you have plenty of time to confirm it again and again and again. Nope, we are definitely going the wrong way. Your traveler's instincts as well as understanding checks it again and again.
I think she just kind of says, not necessarily, like, Taravon is probably the only one who will hear it, because I think it's like, she basically like croaks out. I think it's a very strained and quiet, but she's just like, where are we going?
No, Talira, and you all can hear Taravon says, Bradley Renal, are you alright? You awake?
I think she's not so out of it that when he says, are you awake? She doesn't cut him like, are you serious sort of look. She turns her head just a little bit and like looks at him out of the corner of her eye.
Like, oh, good. How, like, and he's just like, he's also like, kind of confronting things because from his perspective, the last time he was like he actually really looked at you was when he was like basically hands wrist deep in your wounds with Yin. So he's just like, you know, says like, well, thank the Almighty for that. How do you feel?
Oof. He says, "How do you feel?" And I think on sort of just knee-jerk reaction, she starts to kind of do a little bit of a like, what is going on with my body? Sort of self-check-in and immediately regrets it.
Yeah, there's
Because I
immediate
think she,
soreness, immediate drain of
yeah.
energy, and I think that self inspection comes with you trying to move for the first time and not just lie there, and there's immediate shock of pain that goes up your back.
Um, yeah, I think he says, "How do you feel?" And she like pauses and shifts a little bit, and then instead of actually responding, there's just like a, and she goes like all of the blood drains from her face.
Um, you really, um, we can slow down the cart if it helps. Don't don't worry, just relax.
I think she there is a long pause of like gritting teeth and trying to get herself back under control. But when she finally does open her mouth again, she's like, "Where are we going?"
We're headed
Doctor.
back to Grainken so that you can recover. Yin's sort of like taken aback because she's like, you should not be speaking right now. Um,
Yeah, and
uh,
just looking over your shoulder, and you can already see the sweat boiling on Delira's forehead.
God. She shoves the reins back into uh
So that.
Torlin's hands. She's like, take over. Um, and she gets some water out of like a canteen on like a cloth and sort of like wipes her face. Um,
Uh, when Yin says Grainken, there's sort of a flash of a frown. She's like, "Our destination is Hatham's kingdom, right?"
Yes.
I think. Great. I
our
remember which
destination
happened we're talking to.
wherever you can recover. So we're going to take a rest, and you're gonna. She says, almost says you're gonna go to sleep, but then it's like I don't know if I want you to. If you could talk and tell me that you're still alive, that'd be great. Um, you you need rest, and you won't get that on the road. So we are headed somewhere where you can get it.
Uh, it's been it's like pretty clear. Like as she said, the stars are out, so like night has fallen at this point. It's been
Yes.
a while.
Maybe
Oh, go ahead.
maybe the night has fallen like in the last hour, fully.
Okay. Um, Yura tries to. Oh God. Yeah, Yura tries to raise an arm to like gesture, and then immediately like can't really, and sort of winces and is like, clearly I can rest in the cart and have done that. We can just go the other way.
I
Pardon me,
think
Talia, but I don't think we'll be taking advice from a half-dead woman.
I think Yura was getting a look from Yin that was exactly a look that Yin has given Yura of like, don't fucking talk to me when you're horizontal and can't be vertical. And in the moment Torland gives her shit, she's like, all right, well, if someone else wants to die first, that's fine.
I think Yura cannot see Torlin from where she is, and but she tries her best and to project from where she is laying down, like This half-dead woman has been alive at least twice as long as you have. Going on 3 times as long. I think she's better at giving advice than you think.
Maybe she's not half dead.
As much as I hate to agree with Torlin, Bread Lady, you know, you might need more rest than you look. You look like you're already out of energy after just a short conversation.
Yura's not a bright lady, is she?
Yeah, she is.
Oh.
Any light eyes of a, is
She's not of a
bright.
very high.
Yeah.
Which one is it? Dawn?
Yeah. She's not a very high dawn, but that's almost
like accidentally calling your teacher mom.
It's like basically Terravon wouldn't normally call her maybe Bright Lady Renal unless they were in a very formal setting, but he's acting almost, you can tell, very formal on purpose because he's like, holy shit, I thought you were gonna die.
Yeah, okay, great. Cool.
I'm respecting your name.
Yeah, I think Ian just looks down at Yura as she's like super fucking annoyed look on her face at her mom, but also like this very gentle act of like making sure that her face is cleaned up and that the sweat is not like drying and sticking on her skin. She's like, this is gonna be a hard road. I don't think there's anything wrong with a little rest. You thought you were dead.
I think she forces herself she's quiet because she is putting all of her mental and physical effort into moving one of her arms to catch whichever of Yin's hand is closest. And like it's not a strong grip. But she is trying and tries to catch Yin's eye.
It's not hard.
I didn't. I'm still here. But Yin, we're doing this to fix things, and we can't fix them if we move backward. We have to keep moving.
By all intents and purposes, Yura should not be able to like continue this trip right now, correct?
For all
she should
purposes, not talking about
not.
any of this, right? You think? Let's do this. Yin, give me a instinct roll.
Sorry, she's being.
To see how much you will lie to yourself.
Instinct roll. I would like. No, I don't want to waste a hope on that. I'm just gonna roll.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty easy, right?
I will ask you, Lark, which one you want to be the success. Do you want the success to equal my mom being a superhero, or do you want success to be the reality of things?
Yin is very acquainted with reality, so she wants to know the truth of things.
Okay. Yura is very much a person, right? This is the opposite direction of your mom's a superhero because she is being reckless, she is being irresponsible, she is forcing emotions into a situation that not only endangers herself, but you, the mission, all of the above. If she does not rest, this will only mean problems in the future, and the fact that she is even trying to break this conversation in means she's not thinking about those things which you know she normally would, being as smart as she is.
Okay. Yin desperately wants to attribute that to the fever that Yura has right now, but there's a part of her that I think is aware of the fact that it's more than just that, because this has been like 10 years in the making.
Yeah.
Um, and I think Yin, uh, Yura feels Yin's hands like there's been a tremble in them since we got you back in the cart, and that really hasn't passed at all. Um, the hand that grabs Yin turns around and grabs her wrist very tightly, and she meets Yura's eyes and is like, "There is no forward if you don't live long enough to make it there. We are going backwards so you can rest, and it's only 2 hours back, and then we will get back on the road when you can get up and hit me for being undermining your orders, I guess. But until then, I'm in charge, and all you have to do is not die." So I think that should be a very easy job for you.
I think I think Yura's just sort of taken aback for a moment. Because I don't know if Yin, even though like they've been through a lot and Yin has been quite independent in these last few years, like I don't know if they've ever had an interaction quite like that.
Probably
Yeah.
not. No.
Probably in
And
situations they're
there's
both in, right? Yen still like just listen to whatever Talir thinks is for the best in the moment.
yeah.
I think as I don't think Yin's had a moment to like clean up. As Yura is looking at Yin, there is her own blood smeared across Yin's face.
Oh, uh, oof. I I think that and probably the look of like I'm sure Yin does not look well. Um,
No.
and I think it's that like worry for her daughter that sort of like snaps her out of it a little bit. Um, as she really takes a second to look at Yin. And then at Yin's hand, probably also not covered in blood, I guess, because she's been sort of like, damp towel, but probably, blood under the fingernails.
Yeah.
And tries very hard to take a deep breath that isn't very deep because I don't think she can breathe deep right now. It's more of a long, shallow breath. Fine. We stay long enough that I can recover a little bit, and then we keep moving.
uh Yin's grip on her wrist tightens, and Yura can see that she has more she wants to say, but does not want to yell them at a woman who very nearly just died. Um, and so she just takes this deep breath of her own and closes her eyes to like keep the words in. And it's like, great. Now stop talking and stop moving and try to get some sleep. We'll wake you up when we get there.
Before Yin can pull away, Yura tightens her grip a little bit. And sort of tries somewhat feebly to tug her back.
Yin
I'm still
comes
alive, Yin. I will be fine. And squeezes her hand.
Yin, I think, sort of like from like just sort of like pats her on the shoulder or wherever is safe enough to do so, on the hand, and is like, "You're fine until the next time. Get some sleep." And she's gonna go and wrestle the reins from the cart back forward again. Probably getting very annoyed at this point.
You get Talia back
Probably.
situated, move back over. I'm sorry, yeah, Nor.
Probably Teravon. I assuming he's still just sort of lurking in the back of the cart, is the only
Yep.
one in range to like notice. But as soon as she was like tried very hard to convince Yin like I am still alive. I will be fine. And as soon as Yin moves away and is like fully out of eye line, um, her like Yira drops her hand again, and like her breathing is very shaky, and she seems very not okay. And she's taking just like very shallow breaths, trying to like manage the pain that she is in.
I think Teravon looks down, doesn't say anything, but it's almost like what you can read from his inner thoughts. And I think I'll do this a few times moving forward as like, even if he doesn't say anything, this is what you guys narratively will read from him, because a lot of this journey is how it impacts him, in that to him, Talira is putting up this facade to do what she thinks is right, to move forward in the direction she believes in, even if it costs her, is what he gets from that.
Yeah.
As you feel the strength leaving you, you hear Nook's voice in your ear again. Tara says, "And so the parent becomes a child. It's not a bad way of things."
She laughs a little bit, and it turns immediately into like a painful cough
Mm-hmm.
kind of situation. And she's like, I wouldn't go that far.
The parent usually doesn't want to. Yen,
Like this guy.
as
I don't like this guy.
those words do echo true, because in that moment of both the success of that role as well as the action Yin takes, it's that moment when the child realizes their parent isn't infallible and transitions into the moment of like, hey, the child becomes, guardian for the parent. That even though it might seem like the world's a scarier place, it gives you the responsibility and motivation to provide what you've been provided with, and you can clear that stress from earlier, as a little bit of that waveringness about taking control of the caravan, about like going through Tillier's things, the maps and whatnot, and having to dress with the bright lady. All that stress kind of evaporates as you're like, no, I will be there for the person that was there for me, and make these decisions.
Hell yeah.
You all,
I'm in charge now.
God, she's growing up.
yep.
I'm 30 years old.
You
And that's a conversation that they will have in real in IRL someday.
You all make it to what looks like a small village among these rocky plains. As the approaches, you do see that like someone that was on the lookout rushes back, and then someone comes up, like a Alethi man, maybe in his 50s or so, right? Just like waves as you approach with your cart, Yin and Torlin at the front. Says, good evening, travelers. Yes, you are making quite a late arrival. May I ask how my humble village can do for you?
She gives Teravon like 5 seconds to answer if he wants to, and then if he doesn't, she will answer.
Teravon
I
is
think
still at the back of the
Torlin.
cart with Delira, so Torlin is with you.
I
Perfect.
think even
Torland, yeah.
when even as Yin does that, I think Torland immediately bumps Yin a little with a look of like, you said you're the caravan leader, come on, do your leader thing.
She's like, I'm sorry for the late visit, but we passed by earlier and ran into a white spine, and one of our party members is badly injured, and I was wondering if we could rest here for a while.
Oh, Stonefather, yes, no, of course. And you look, and the first thing you realize is not surprise on his face. It says, yes, yes, my name is Veda, please. I can get you settled for the night. Brightness, he says to you, Yin, because you do have light eyes. We can take care of your cart here. And he starts, like, pointing off to a direction. I'm sorry you befell such ill times. This road has been plagued by that same white spine for the past 2 weeks or so.
How feasible is it on a scale of 1 to 10 for a group of 3 people to kill a white spine?
Wait, it's feasible. It's usually the way white spines are killed is if a hunt is organized by the Bright Lords of the territory. Oftentimes it becomes like a sporting thing, but it's like with proper yeah, like with proper understanding and procedure. Like I think most hunting parties, just for carefulness sake, are like 12, but that's just because it's careful no matter what, right? It's still feasible,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. But not great odds with just 3 people.
It's like
Uh,
no one would attempt it because the injury rate is high.
yeah, no, clearly. It just feels badly about leaving this problem here for later. Has no one just look to the man? He said his name was Veda.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Veda. Have you sent word out to any of the princes or the Bright Lords or anything to see if they could deal with this for you?
Yes, we have brightness. The good Bright Lord's huntsman is down, but he is, as I said, preparing the event and all that. He's like pauses and hesitates because basically he is, even though he seems to be representing this village, you are a bright lady in his eyes, right? Definitely a higher social caste than he is, and so he's just like they're preparing for the hunt, and we wouldn't want to rush the Bright Lord's events.
She allows her annoyance at that to read on her face, and she's like, "And how long have you been waiting for them to prepare?"
He pauses and then well, of course, the huntsman came in a week prior, but he needed a few days rest before he could start canvassing, and I'm sure he will send word any moment that the hunt's prepared and ready. And you see some of the nice old man demeanor drop as it's like he's speaking between the lines.
Okay. I'm getting that this guy has either fucked off or he has died. Am I correct in that?
Maybe reading a bit of that, he'll say the Bright Lord, as you guys are walking by, is staying right there at the moment. He can usually be seen drinking most nights, if you ever wish to check in on him. And so, yeah, the implication, no, the Bright Lord's huntsman is just taking his time, right?
Oh. Great. She kind of makes a show of trying not to roll her eyes at the idea of this Bright Lord just sort of fucking around waiting to do stuff, while probably his people and also my people are getting their ass beat. But she smiles at Veda and is like, "Well, I appreciate your hospitality and the help that you're giving us. I promise we won't be a bother on your doorstep for too long."
No, of course.
And if there's
Like,
anything we can do to repay the stay, please let us know.
thankfully, the beast has not claimed any of our lives. We've just lost a few chells to the thing. Yeah, that's why, thankfully, and he'll point you towards like the stables and whatnot. We have space for your cart and all that, easy access. I can't speak to the same of other travelers though. So when you do set out, I would do so with, care. If there's anything
Oh,
you
it's,
need, I believe this house next over has a stable hand that might be able to help you with your chal and everything. They'll make sure to take care of the animal in the morning.
I deeply appreciate that. We will try our best not to make too much of an imposition on you guys, and we will. I should probably get our. She says, our charge, just loud enough for a year to hear, out of the cart, so that she can rest.
Of course.
But
Why
I think
don't you settle about, and I will raise our village's apothecary, perhaps see if they can provide you with anything you might need for the night, and we can discuss further the next morning.
that sounds good. I thank you again.
Um,
She's gonna
mhm.
take her leave from him, and she's gonna try to get Yura out of the cart and settled in for the night.
Sure. You guys are basically put into a stable area where you can keep your chal and cart and all that, and then there's a nearby abode that actually Veda goes into, and you see he comes out later with a young man and young woman, husband wife couple that just nods and says no, feel free, no, feel free, as they are basically giving you guys their house as they are going to stay with relatives for the night.
Oh my god.
So
Yin's
sweet.
heart grows 12 sizes this day.
You guys settle in, and maybe 40 minutes later, right, Veda returns with a older, right, very almost shriveled of a woman apothecary named Detha, and she seems like she has a few things she can provide you and goes through a list quickly, but doesn't stay long for a full conversation, just so that she can make sure to get you exactly what you need to make sure Tilira's wounds have, you know, antiseptic and things right away.
Yeah. Sick. Um, yeah, Yid is in big like dealing with the public mode. And is trying to be as gracious to their host as she feasibly can. Because they do not have to do this, and the fact that they are is very nice of them. And she does not want to be rude.
And you probably have seen this quite a bit on your travels back with your parents, right? Like these small villages are usually kinder than people would think to travelers. And so you feel at home in this sort of vibe.
Okay. Yay! Yeah, she'll work to get everything ready with Detha to get everything ready for Yura for them to stay. And looks to the two boys and is like, "You are going to treat this place with respect for as long as we're here. Do you understand me?"
Yes, ma'am.
Of course, they
Great.
are very nice people. I could not thank them enough for all the services they've shown us.
That's the smaller villages for you. They always tend to be a little bit nicer than the big cities.
Is there anything else that happens in this night of settling in and respite people want to describe or narrate?
I have a question, Ash.
Mm-hmm.
We're currently still in the Thanadol Princedom, right?
Yes, you
Or
are.
have
You
we...
were basically
Okay,
maybe 2 or 3 days from the border.
gotcha. And our two parties at this point have split up to get Hatham's aid and Bethab's aid. Thanadol we don't worry as much about,
You
right?
guys have been trying for the last X years, and that has hit it at well.
Okay. Do we know any specific reasons of why they hit a dead wall, or is it just in general? It's
It's been a kind of wait and see process with Thanadol, kind of, and I think Nora, we established this a bit of like okay, yeah, if you're actually gonna have any traction, show that you can get more allies than your neighbor on your side. So
Yeah.
that's the best you've been able to get from Thanadol because he's like, okay, if I go in with you, we're both just gonna die together, right? And I don't want that.
Yeah.
that's all.
He does not believe in the cause.
Well, he believes in his survival more than he probably believes in the cause.
Yeah.
I'll also be.
I love that was said with such like, your faith is lacking.
And question is like, is the huntsman like Thanatos, or is it like, oh, the Bright Lord of this, uh, the like rule over like a village or something? That person's huntsman.
It didn't come up in the conversation, but you would assume because you know how the light-eyed politics work, it would be more a close Bright Lord, probably the someone underneath Danadol that operates in this section of his territory.
Okay,
Like this
that
is
makes
a very small village, so there's probably a bigger city somewhere around here that has a High Lord that oversees it.
Gotcha. All right, makes sense.
In terms of as a book equivalent, right? There would be someone like Rashon, right?
Mm. And this is that person's okay. So.
Yeah. So that kind of size, like right. So not super high up on the roster. But yeah, anything else people want to get done tonight?
No, I think Yin finds a wash basin to clean herself because she does not want to be covered in her mom's blood any more than she has to. And I think she just takes a moment to herself without Taravon or you guys' names are too familiar. Corlin.
Oopsies.
Uh, Around to just sort of have like a moment of like, oh my god, I can't believe that just happened. Like where she just sort of like maybe cries a little bit, but is like trying to like get like smacks herself in the face a few times, trying to get herself back together.
I think as you are spending some time on your own, it's a quiet night for everyone as people are like done with conversation and don't need just like some respite. You are looking at Taylor one last time and you see that little ball of light like zip out of your clothes and peer next to you, and at the same time your vision goes a bit translucent almost, and you can see where Deathspren are basically, they come into contact with people's wounds, things and sites like that are infections. You've seen them a ton of time, right? It's Deathspren, right? Plaguespren?
Rotsprint?
Rotspren, thank you. Rotspren
What
that
spren? Oh.
are always in contact with wounds and illnesses, and the more you see, the more likely the person's going to die. You see that they have subsided now thanks to the balm you applied to Tilira that the apothecary gave you, and that having subsided, you feel a bit of sense of relief, and the ball of light like blips once or twice as if like it's also relieved.
Well, if you want to get some rest, you might as well, because I think this is going to be a long night. But
It's like
if I remember,
you can't tell, but it like turns a little because spreads don't rest.
I know she's just talking to fill the space. I think. Weird stormlight shit happened when Yura didn't die last time, right?
Well, she wasn't as injured as she seemed. Like
So-
she
I
should
remember.
be.
I remember there was like a visual phenomena that happened.
Yes.
But I might be misremembering.
No, yes, there was a visual phenomenon in that You could have swore you saw some white smoke because you basically had to hold Talira as you carried her through, and there was some white smoke coming out from the wound. I will say, because to make things interesting, we'll put a countdown 4 on this, right? That is 1, and countdown of it reaching 4 is like, oh yeah, you definitely realize that Yura has some fucking same sort of powers that she does. But that is your first clue of like, okay, did I see this right? Was I just like stressed out of my mind? Like,
Yeah.
that's
Cool.
kind of like where you're at.
Great. So she sort of like settles into like a chair by the bedside that Yura is sleeping in, and just is like posted up for the night. If she does not sleep well this first night, if at all, and she just is like periodically checking on her wounds and making sure that her fever is not getting out of control.
Mm-hmm.
And is just kind of mothering her mom for the night.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I think I named it Chime. We'll let Chime to sort of flit about as they please.
Yeah.
I think Yura probably isn't like especially lucid, especially after having to move from the cart into here, is exhausted and in pain and like isn't really able to sleep well, but like is probably kind of in and out again. So she doesn't really say much. There's probably a little bit of like talking to herself under her breath, but not a lot of conversation.
In the couple moments or the times that Yura is lucid, she probably hears like a soft like humming of like an old Iriali like folk song or lullaby, as trying to keep herself awake and also tell Yura and herself that everything is going to be okay.
Yeah, everything's gonna be fine.
It's going to be okay. This is definitely not a tragedy that we're in.
Yeah, it's not. Nice. Okay. Well, you guys all get some rest. Lark, just confirming, can you see a new countdown or no?
Countdown. My mom is magic. Yes.
Yes. Okay, cool.
Incredible.
All right, and you should also be able to change that yourself if you wish to by hovering over it.
Okay, great.
Okay. Cool. Okay, and now, in terms of mechanical stuff as well, do you guys narratively want to take, or do you guys mechanically want to take a rest here? You don't have to, right? But
Yes,
your characters.
please.
Yes. You don't have to. Yes,
I
we
would like
fucking
to.
do.
Well, remember, Daggerheart rests are very interesting. It basically gives you a chance to get a bunch of resources back, but at the same time, it does increase my fear. So
Yeah. I'm at 3 stress, 2 HP. I'm missing at least one of my inspirational word tokens. Like, if you guys are like, no, I don't want to, that's okay. Like, if you're all, I think you're all doing pretty well. So, like, maybe it's not necessarily the best idea. But I would be down if we did.
Let's take a rest.
Yeah.
all right. Would you like to take a short rest or a long rest?
Maybe a short rest?
What is the difference?
Basically,
Bring that up.
how much stuff you get back. A short rest, you can take 2 downtime actions each time you take a rest. The healing one for a short rest heals you a like dice roll worth of HP, right? Versus you get all your HP back in a long rest. But at the same time, short rest gets me a little bit of fear. Long rest gets me a lot of bit of fear.
Okay. What is the dice roll you roll?
So this is, let me see. If each of you guys go to your character sheet and hit short rest on the top right and hover over, it'll tell you what each of the things do.
Oh.
And the wound, clear stress, repair, armor, repair.
1d4 plus tier, so that's a minimum of 3.
Yes. And remember your HP is tracked backward, so Talira is on 2 out of 5, that just means she has 2 marked HP, right? So.
Okay. Yeah, let's take a short rest.
Nice.
Done.
All right. We'll do a short rest. Is there, what is everyone doing, just so we can coordinate in case people want to prepare together or do other stuff as well.
Tending to wounds and clearing stress.
Okay.
There you go. Uh, will be tending to my wounds and then preparing.
Okay.
I technically can do a third thing, but I don't need to.
Oh, it's a reality. Cool shit.
Do you have any stress?
No, I cleared the stress that I had.
Well, I do believe you can maybe heal someone else, mend, or is that anything someone else?
I don't have that on my list.
You could do this to an ally instead. You can tend someone else's wounds, basically.
Oh,
So-
shit. Cool.
It probably is fine, but Tilira, you can roll just in case you roll poorly, and then someone could consider tending your wounds again if you wanted to make sure you're at max.
Ooh.
Yeah. Even though we did combat last time, it was really just one attack roll against Tilira, and everything else was like.
Yeah, things went really badly, really quickly.
And we got out of there.
Is it /R 1d4? Because the buttons don't work.
Oh,
Yes, it is.
Damn.
okay. So yeah, you're full
Oh.
HP.
Loaded 6 HP. I'm gonna go ahead and clear stress and prepare, I think.
And I'm not even stressed.
And I'm not even
4 on both.
Wow.
Triple fold.
Now that is a Night Radiant right there. 4s across the board from all 2 of you. All 3 rolls.
So, Torlin, how are you preparing? Do we want to prepare together to get the extra hope?
How much hope do you have right now?
I have 3. I would
Okay.
love to more.
Yeah, no, I'm down to prepare together. I think I like to imagine it's the kind of thing of an unspoken partnership of like what's it called? Like Yin taking care of Tilira, Yin stepping out to like I don't know clean something or like fix something up for Tilira. Torlin taking the moment to step in, leave like a bowl of some kind of tonic that he like herbalismed up, and leaving before Yin gets back, and Yin coming back to see that.
It's Yin will remember this. The affection meter is raised. She's like, okay, this kid's not so bad. Yeah, so it's like this silent, like sort of rotation of care. Of making sure that Yura gets the fuck out of this goddamn bed. I think while also she wants more information about the white spine also, so she is going to talk to this hunting guy to be like, first of all, what are you doing? Second of all, what is this thing and how best do we get around it without it trying to hunt us down a second time?
Yes. Okay, so we'll go into stuff like that. But I'm just checking the rest thing real quick.
Do you want to put one thing out there where if for any reason Torlin realizes that's what Ian's going to do, if Ian like just lets people know or anything, Torlin does want to, Torlin does want to come along with. He wants to meet this guy.
Yeah, I think like at like over dinner, like maybe like it's a short rest like a day, or is it like a 20 minutes?
Or is it like an hour?
Yeah, narratively, the way we're kind of doing it, short rest is whatever we want it to be. So for our instance, this short rest is that night, right? This night's sleep. It can be whatever. Do it, because sometimes you'll take a night's sleep, but we're not actually mechanically making it a rest.
Okay, great. So like
We're just it's just a very not restful night.
yeah, I think like
it's
in
enough
the morning
to get
while
you just going.
yeah, in the morning, well, like everyone's slowly like coming to life. She'll talk to she'll be speaking to the boys and be like, all right, I'm going to. Oh, I don't like that. Put those back.
Sorry, was that 6 fear you just gained?
No.
It's 1d4 plus tier, right?
Oh, it's
Okay,
plus
it's not.
tier?
Okay. Is it?
No, it's
I
just
assumed it
no,
was
it's
because
not,
all of our stuff was.
it's not tier.
Okay.
Don't put those back. We have fear at home.
Ashman's 5 fear. The white spine's back, and it brought 3 friends.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's talking to the group, and it's like, I would like to talk to the huntmaster before we leave, just to get an idea of what he's doing and what this creature is, how best to get around it.
Oh, hey, come with.
Perfect. Caravan, do you mind getting the caravan and looks over to Yura to see how Yura's doing?
It's the next day. Yura, you are conscious in and out, but it's like if someone just came out of surgery, right? You're not getting out of bed.
Yeah, she's not standing up.
Okay. Do you mind helping? Actually, no. Can you get the caravan ready, and then when we get back, we'll all get Yura into the cart together?
We're heading out today.
Well, actually, that's a great question. Hold on. Out of character.
Out
So-
of character, you would know based on Talira's injury, she should not be traveling for a month.
Okay, great. So no, Ian wouldn't have said that.
Now,
Yeah.
out of character, also we
like-
might know this might go faster because we know Talira has some magic, but like that's
Yeah.
what we know
No,
in
okay.
character.
Like we're gonna have I think we're gonna have a free run moment where Ian's like, we're staying for a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like the short rest thing I got confused about. Sorry, because I was like, oh,
You're good.
how long is this rest that we're taking? So yeah, I guess to Taravan, she's like, she's like looking between the two of them. Do you want to come with us? Would you like to take, or can I task you with looking after Ira?
I'll watch over her. No, it's fine. And he looks at Torla and says, "You two can go." What we'll do, like that, basically that short rest could be an additional time. I will say, at least for the first 3 days you're in the village, right? The first day after you guys actually get in, you do spend it kind of just familiarizing yourself and like, you know, talking to the apothecary Detta more, learning about like what's been happening, like basically stuff you already learned. But yeah, the White Spine's been around for a week. It has killed 2 chulls, right? Hasn't killed any people yet, but like merchants have been like, there's said to be some run-ins, but it's like avoided this track. Like it sounds like, for all intents and purposes, Talira was the first person it hurt. Let me
Wow,
see.
how lucky!
How lucky.
We're so special.
For our purposes, what we're gonna flash through is in these first 2 or 3 days where you just get a scope of the town as Talira's healing and you're not doing that much. I'll give you a list of just the NPCs around, and then we can choose which scenes, like, oh yeah, you want to go talk to the Bright Lord Sunsman and stuff. So let me do that.
Sorry, it's the first thing that came to mind when I heard that Tyria was the first victim of the White Spine. I was like, Nail, is that you?
What? Sorry, you cut
What?
out a little bit. I didn't hear you.
No, it's just, what's it called? The White Spine can sniff out nice radiant or something.
Oh, you know what?
The
Probably.
white spine is actually Nail in disguise.
Who the fuck is Nail? And why are they a dick?
I think
Yes?
if I have a scheme in mind. I'm trying to think if it's a Torlin scheme or a me scheme. I think it's a Torlin scheme because it's
You're gonna be mean to somebody.
Maybe. Maybe just a lot of lying.
Lying? My house of God? Um, Yin also is probably gonna spend some time, if there's like to get to know the people here,
Mm-hmm.
and help with any like whether that's weaving or otherwise that she can assist with. Uh, Not one to lie about and take hospitality without giving proper thanks for it.
Okay, yeah. Um, let's do this. I will ask you to give me a name for one of those village girls that you saw that you actually befriend and teach some weaving to, because she knows some basket weaving, but you were able to teach her some more finer points.
Hold, please. I'm looking for Story Archive name generator. I like the way this name looks. How would you say this name? Hold on. Why is it not
Silu?
Um,
Silu?
I think so.
Sure. Yeah. So her name is Silu, and Yin offers to help with some of the basket weaving, and then uh will sort of like help with like if there's mending that needs to be done, and then teach them how to do some like Iriali mending techniques or whatever that make things a little easier, repair them a little stronger for long travels.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just trying to be a good neighbor, as it were.
Yeah. I think you work with Silu as well as some of the other girls who are like, do basket weaving just to sell to the merchants for when they come by. Um, you learn a bit about just like, yeah, it's been a bit scary the last 2 weeks. It's a very simple village, right? They are Grainken. They're known for a lot of farming and providing that to the Bright Lord. But recently, with the White Spine, the merchants have stayed away, and it's just been a bit of fear, even though nothing really has happened. Um,
Yeah.
Silo has a younger sister called Mina, and Mina always is getting into trouble and like saying like, "Oh, I saw the White Spine, and I'm gonna defeat it." Like doing a bunch of things. And you're reminded of Carla during her age of like running around just trying to get involved in things when other people were like, maybe we don't, right?
Yeah, I think hearing that, Yura puts like a hand on Silu's shoulder and is like, I know the struggle. I wish you the best of luck in your endeavors."
I just hope she settles down one day and I don't know, maybe finds some other hobby besides storytelling.
Well, storytelling can be a useful skill, um, if she can learn how to wield it right.
I'm sure, but it seems like tall tales are the only story she's willing to tell nowadays.
Sometimes that is a lesson learned the hard way. I hope she doesn't have to.
You spend your day. You actually like it's very easy for you to connect with villagers because that's kind of what a traveler's mentality is, right? Meeting people and immediately getting a handle on their way of life. And so you very much you get to know Silu and there's a kinship there. Um, to Lyra, I will say since you can't move very often, I will give you the option. Let's choose an NPC that interacts with you during these first few days. Would you want to be the village head, the apothecary, or the ardent?
ooh. I I'm between the village head and the ardent.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Village head because I could see it as like a, oh, news of other places. Ardent, just because Palin and that sucks.
Yeah.
Um, I guess it would maybe, it would maybe be more like, uh, sorry, I guess I don't know what the village head would talk to her about. I guess about the
Well,
white spine, but
yeah. Basically, this is a decision not for Talera, but for Nora. As like, oh yeah, what kind of feel you kind of want narratively, right? Because there will always be something to talk about.
um, I guess the village head.
Okay. I think maybe a day when Yin is out and Torlin and Erewhon are separately like, hmm, yeah, I'll say, Torlin, you were here. Terravon wandered off, right? And so Yin was also like wandered off for a bit, and so you're around when the village head shows up and just says like, "Oh yeah, I would just want to make sure our guest was doing all right," and so at least he's there. Says
Mm.
you've been conscious and like, even though it's like a dull ache, Tilira, you're still like feel all right, and like in the back of your head, you shouldn't be feeling this much better this quickly, but you're kind of
Yeah.
like ignoring that. Um,
Yep.
Brightness, it's good to see you're up. Are you all right?
Is he dark-eyed?
Yes, he is dark-eyed, older man, maybe his 50s. Yeah.
She manages a polite smile as best she can. Uh, I've had better days, I'll admit, but we appreciate your hospitality.
Of course, of course. It's the least we can do. If you don't mind me asking, is there anything we can do? We wouldn't want to delay your journey if it is of some import.
I'm afraid unless you have some sort of storm's blessed healing salve, your hospitality is plenty. Thank you.
Of course, of course. And I think I'll say, like, you can see he is trying to read, what are you doing in these parts?
Yeah.
Four light-eyed people traveling. You're not a merchant caravan. Um, like, even though some of you guys act like travelers, you are still like. Basically, he's trying to. Are you someone important that got injured, and now this is going to be a huge thing, right?
Yeah.
In his area.
Gotcha. Okay. She kind of like the mission of some import or whatever. She's like, I'm not telling you what we're doing.
Yeah.
But I think maybe reading his sort of worry, she sort of I suppose tries to look a little bit rueful, and it is mostly genuine. Um, I'm on the way to see family. We were simply traveling this way and got unlucky.
I see. Well, my deepest apologies. I am embarrassed that the lack of security on my village's behalf caused you such a grievous injury. And you can tell once more, he's like, okay, he needs to make sure he is bowing enough, because if you are a certain type of light eyes, you could make it Grainken's fault that they didn't take care of this problem themselves, even though technically they couldn't have, and it was someone
Yeah.
else's.
When he's like, "Oh, we don't have enough security," she kind of chuckles a little bit, like, yes, small farming villages are widely known for their many well-armed and trained soldiers."
You jest, Brightness, but Unfortunately, we have one or two, just not enough to deal with the beast such as a white spine. That I'm sure the good huntsman will deal with in time.
In time, of course.
What is he reading from Talira in this moment, right? What she's both projecting and also maybe unwittingly letting through.
I think she is like, she's mostly like, it's not unexpected. It very much makes sense, but there's a little bit of like, she is not the bright lady that he sort of fears that she is, and very much like, I mean, as we all know, like, she obviously knows that she's technically like a bright lady and like reads as a light eyes and is married to a light-eyed man who is a Lethe. So like she's been through this rodeo plenty of times, but she also like there's always going to be a little bit of that like sort of mild exasperation of like calm down like uh because as like a merchant and as somebody who also is like um doesn't necessarily like she's not like she completely understands where he's coming from, but she's also there's also a little bit of a like she's trying to be sort of joking and light in a way that would hopefully put him at ease, and he's clearly quite nervous, and that's a little bit like okay, like you,
Yeah,
it's fine.
you're trying.
And there's also a little bit of like the at the mention of the huntsman, a little bit more exasperation at this like um she's probably picked up at this point that the Bright Lords or the High Lord his man is not doing his job, and that is not the village's fault, but it is uh, disappointing.
Mm-hmm. How? What's the word? How amicable are you to their plight? At least are you showing off?
She is trying. She's like, I think deep down, kind of distracted, but like in this moment, I think her merchant training almost kicks in a way where she's like trying to project being very obviously she does feel for them. Sucks there's a white spine around, but like
Mm-hmm.
it's almost mostly like instinct. What is the word I'm thinking of? Like rote, just like sort of making friends and like sympathizing with them in a way that will like garner good faith.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
I
she's
will.
like intentionally projecting that like, oh, I feel for you.
Okay. Give me a presence check. Basically, it's seeing like how open Veda does become to you. Like dropping not just the paranoid guard, but also the like walls of like, okay, even if I'm not paranoid, I don't overshare.
Yeah. Hey, can I use a fit in to survive on this one?
Yes, you can.
She's using her merchant training.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you. This is a role you expect me to fulfill, so I will fulfill
Yeah.
it.
Well, I get a token. Give
You
me the
do.
token.
Um, okay. On that success with fear, you do see he's an older man, village head. You see he's a keeper of the peace. He's not elected to any position. He wasn't given any real power. He is just someone that's been around long enough to know everyone and know like how to keep them getting along and know that the Bright Lord expects, the food that is produced here to meet quota each year. And so
Yep.
he also is kind of like the same way fits in to survive a lot. And you read that as an equal in that regard. And in the bit of back and forth and small chat, soft chat, small talk,
Well,
um, uh, he says like, if you don't mind me asking, Brightness, have you let your family know of your injury? I'm sure if news got back, then they might even come to escort you from here in a safer manner. And you can read easily. It's like, oh, hey, he's trying to see if like you're willing to get an escort so that they come with guards that deal with the white spine.
Oh, well, um, I think that this is perhaps, well, I think, sorry. I think she perhaps has not been all the way there enough to really even think about contacting anyone. She's been too in her own head and frustrated. And so there's a little bit of a look of surprise that she doesn't mask immediately, being like, sort of a, oh, like I do have a span read, and we do need to tell someone that we are waylaid. Um, and then it's a,
Yin also would have told her that we had done that.
Yeah, they left a message.
she would have told Yira that.
Yeah, she would have. She's not mothering you enough to not tell you what she's doing. She sent a message.
Okay. I think it's more than like a little bit. She kind of like looks over at where her pack is, and the span reed's probably tucked away safely. Um, and then looks back to the guy. Did we name him?
Veda.
Oh, it is Veda?
Yeah.
Okay. We're how many days travel away from like we're kind of in the middle of nowhere.
So you're 3 or 4 days from the border. You have been traveling for like 6 or 7 days since leaving Davenar.
Yeah. Um, I think she thinks for a moment of a little bit of like, is there literally anyone we could call to help these people? And I imagine there isn't. And her face kind of softens and she looks as like in a very apologetic way and she's like, I I'm afraid you've overestimated my standing.
Oh,
If there were someone I could call on for escort, I would gladly do so, but I'm afraid we're traveling alone for now.
no. I apologize if I
There's
asked
no need
something.
to apologize.
No,
I
no,
would
of course.
help you if I could, I assure
Of
you.
course, of course. Well, far be it from me to, you know, try to overstep. I just hope your family knows that you're safe and there's no other causes for alarm.
Um, I think she can't help looking sad. Uh, and just sort of is like a, yes, well, we'll see them soon enough, I'm sure.
Oh, well, I'll let you get some rest. And the last thing I'll leave you on is that I spent a fear, as he seemed to not fully believe you at the last of like, oh yeah, there is, you overestimate my station, blah, blah, blah. It's like he sees a kind of like the light-eyed way of saying like, oh, hey, yeah, don't ask me to do stuff, right? Um,
Oh,
and
sorry, bud.
that spend of fear is like, you can read it in him. He's like, okay, how else can I leverage the situation, even if it's not good for this person in front of me? So that fear is to put a seed of foreshadow in there. He's not doing anything yet, but Talir can at least read that, like, okay, he's going to be looking for that as an avenue.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. We
Torlin.
can have some words in when they get back.
about an hour later, Torlin, I'll say this is like, I'm gonna say this is like not too soon after you do see. Um, I don't even know if Talira's bags are near her because she's been just so out of it. Like a bunch of your guys' bags are off to the side, and you can see the flashing of a span reed, trying to get your guys' attention, Torlin, from her bag.
Torlin like yeah, no, Torlin immediately goes for it and just takes it out to see if like at first she's like, okay, is there a message left? Are there like these runes that have been inscribed in this that I can't read but know exist? Or is it more like they're trying to call at this moment?
Well, when the ruby is flashing, it's just like, oh yeah, someone is trying to contact you. And so then if you
Mm,
set it to flashback, you're like, oh yeah, I'm ready to take your message.
I see. Uh, Yin and Taravon are out right now, right?
Yes.
Okay. Uh,
Yura. Oh god.
hmm? What were you
I was
saying?
just gonna say Yura would have a span reed like board and some paper in her bag as well.
I think Torlin sits or stands there for a moment of like looking at all the materials, like just debating his head. I was like, I don't.
You do know how this works, just so you know, because your mom would have made
Yeah,
sure you knew for your mission.
yeah, no, absolutely. The internal debate he's having is like, is it the wrong thing to bother someone who's bed sick, right? Or like, what's it called? Bedridden right now with this? Maybe. Anyway, and he grabs the stuff and goes to tell you.
Okay. You wake Delir.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. Delira, 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 Delira.
Mom.
God. Um, I think
Just so you know, you're tired because even though that was a short conversation with Veda, it still took a lot of energy. So he does wake you up because you did fall back asleep.
unfortunately I think there's a brief moment where she's like, uh, uh it's sort of like half asleep, half like still in whatever dream. Um, and I don't even know if it comes out in a intelligible way, but it's something along the lines of like Zdenek, if you need something, you can go ask your father.
Oh,
Before she actually finally like wakes up the rest of the way, realizes where she is, uh, and gets in sort of a fight or flight kind of like, what's going on?
Spaniard, Torlin's like, mind a little, just fucking, not shell shocked or anything, but just like a little, like, taken aback by the dynamic. I was like, no, okay, it's Ben Reed, I'm trying to reach out, and Gideon's gone right now. Busy doing,
Um,
don't mind knows what.
yeah, put the on the. I have a board in my things. Put uh,
Yeah. He
yeah,
just, like, starts setting it up, because I assume this is part of the thing that, his mother taught him to
yeah.
know how to do.
yeah,
You can do everything
uh,
besides the reading writing part, basically.
Yeah.
yeah. Yura kind of waves a hand, and a like, okay, turn the thingy to tell them you're ready, sort of way of a like, you
Click.
know, continue.
I'll say this actually works out because Torlin probably does play the fool so that Tiller doesn't realize how trained in this he is. But yes, as it starts writing, it says, um, first, I think you guys do have a like cipher or something that like says like, oh yeah, are we? Can we talk? Blah blah blah. And the cipher would be something like, hmm, damn. I want to think of something cool, but I can't do that at, like the moment.
I'm trying to remember what Shalon and her brother did, and I don't.
It says like, it hasn't been that long since you set off. How goes it? And you see like the third syllable is like the passcode that like, okay, you need to match those.
Uh, she does whatever. Or oh
Yeah.
God, okay.
You
Fuck,
can say
she can't.
whatever, and we'll just say it works. But yeah.
Can she even write?
Oh,
Oh,
it's you can write. It's taxing.
Yeah. She's just gonna have Torlin essentially like hold the board for her, and like do her best to slow and steady right back.
You reply uh, with the correct cipher, knowing that it is a safe space and you guys are alone. And it says like, "Good, then Yin, is this you again?
Uh,
Was the injured you claimed? This is Sael.
Sael is Torlin's mom.
Yeah,
Yira's like, I don't want to tell her. Um,
You simply must.
yeah, she'll write back again. Like, this is Tolgira. Um, Unfortunately, I was somewhat injured in the confrontation.
Tilia. Good. We feared the worst when it's usually not Yin being the one to contact us, so we thought something had happened to you. But you're well then.
Uh, she'll just write back on the mend.
Give it to me straight. What happened? How bad was it?
There's a longer wait between replies. Um,
I think at some point, Torlin just pipes up while holding the board. It's like, oh god, it's fucked up. Could you write any slower?
Mid, like, I think so. There's a long wait as Siles like give it to me straight. Yura's trying to decide what to say, and so there's just like pen pause at the top of the page. And when Torlin says that, uh, her about to like make the first stroke stops, looks up at him, looks back down at the bandages that probably still have blood on them, even though they're like relatively fresh, looks back at him again, and sort of raises an eyebrow.
That is a no.
Oh my god,
Um,
it is beating the tar out of you later.
she's just kind of like, um, and replies, uh, I was, God, okay. She just writes back, I was quite wounded. We'll need, at best, several weeks before we can move on. Passive aggressive period.
Your son's a bitch.
Your son being annoying.
Let me check one thing.
She will, I think she'll include, like, we've stopped in Grainken?
Grainken.
Um, Grainken, for some time, and, um, while they've been forthcoming in their hospitality, I am somewhat concerned about their desperation to deal with their white spine problem.
The reply comes after also a moment, says, a few weeks. That is quite the time for you to delay that much. It must have been quite the injury. Make sure to rest. We will convey the information to the Denals so that their timeline can be positioned so that they don't ensure a meeting with have them too early. Does seem just like
You're kind
very much ignored the Grainken part. Like, oh,
yeah.
okay.
She's like, whatever, they'll deal with it. It's not my problem. Yura kind of nods to herself and writes back, like, very well. Thank you for or not even. I think she just writes back, very well. We will keep you updated. As to our departure.
Do so. Diam is also here, and she says to make sure you rest, or you'll be useless to us on the road ahead.
Uh, she just writes back, I will do my best. I think, like, they've all had their, probably especially Sael and Tilira are not big fans of resting.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, Sael was the one that was a bit more passive aggressive, like, damn, a few weeks, huh? It must have been really bad, right? Whereas, Diane would be a bit more like, okay, well, do make sure you rest. Right? Like, Diane's a bit more soft, and Sael's a bit more blunt, right? But not
yeah,
by much. Like, you three are very similar
yeah.
in this regard.
I think Yira's like, she can't even be mad because she's like, yeah, I'm right there with you. So she's just like sort of informative and to the point.
All right. Well, it says, well,
Um, I
mm-hmm.
I think she will like, I will try my best. Is there anything you wish me to tell Torlin or Teravon?
No,
They
I'm
can't.
sure they're have enough having to take increased responsibility with you injured. Just, we'll speak more.
Yeah, responsibility.
Says,
You're attempted to be like, Yin is pulling most of the weight, but she doesn't say anything.
we'll say, we will speak more when you are closer to Hathams. Um, there have been things that have been progressing well, but we'll fill you in later.
She just replies with a very well.
Okay. Spanry blinks back.
Uh, yeah, she sets it down on like in like the little clip or whatever that's on the board. Thank you, Torlin.
Hey, what'd they say?
Um, she was just checking in on our timeline and updating the Denal party accordingly.
Hmm. Let me figure out how to phrase this.
I didn't. Wait, what'd you say?
I need to figure out how to phrase this, sorry.
Oh, no, you're good.
I think okay. Uh yeah, Torlink takes the spammer and everything with the clip and all start like putting it away. And before like turning back towards Tillyra and saying, uh don't take it too hardly, Tillyra. I'm sure they're not that mad even though we can't progress because of you.
Eat this kiddo.
Um, she kind of narrows her eyes at him a little bit. Is he being serious? Or is this like, what is the tone of this? Is it like just pure off the cuff like insensitivity or is it like targeted? Or is it
It's
like sarcastic?
it's not targeted of like a oh he's mad at you. It's more the kind of it's leaning closer towards insensitivity, but it's also the kind of thing of Torlin's like this and he's gotten away with it before, and so continues to be like this, much to everyone else's detriment.
Yeah. To everyone else's detriment. He makes that she kind of reads that and I think knowing him the last few years has picked up on that quite a bit. Um And so with that the little bit of a narrowing of the eyes at him, like I may be bedridden, but I suggest you don't forget which one of us is in charge here, Torlin.
Last I checked, it was Yin, and Torlin leaves.
Oh my god, this guy's gonna get the biggest
You know, Ian
headlock
talks to every
of his life.
day.
Good, good. Snot nose brat. Very good.
Good,
Um,
good.
the few days pass and you guys settle in enough. Taylor is doing better. Her rested. She is spending more time sitting up, and then even, um, I'll say, uh, like sitting up and around the house, even though she has not like left yet. It's during this time I'll say that you do want to go and talk to the huntsman, correct, Ian?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, and so you're going with Torlin to the huntsman. Uh, I'll say, yeah, you go to which seems like a village meeting place. Not really a tavern or a bar, right? They don't get enough traffic to have that, but it's like someone's basically, you know, house that a lot of villagers go to too, like drink and whatnot.
And does Yin let Yura know that she's going?
Yes.
Okay. I think before she goes, Yura would kind of catch her for a moment. Um, what are you planning to say to him?
uh, Yura definitely gets the sort of like rolls eyes expression of a girl who's like, "Well, I want to tell him to go fucking jump off a cliff," but she doesn't say that. Um, she's like, "Well, I wanted to ask uh what his plans were for killing the White Spine and how best to get around it. Otherwise, I don't want to. I don't want to put you in danger again. So if I can offer help to get rid of it, I will. But I know you are eager to get back on the road."
Lee does not look happy at that. I don't want you endangering yourself, Yin.
Well, that makes two of us.
Look, I think she kind of is like, um, he's he was sent here by a Bright Lord. He should be perfectly capable of the task himself. That being said, a village like this doesn't see very many light eyes, certainly not this many at once. While we are not exactly of a high station, and not all even Alethi, I would recommend leveraging that assumption that we have connections as much as you can. He's away from his Bright Lord, taking a unearned vacation. Maybe remind him that there are people here who have ties to the outside, and that he should perhaps remember his duty.
It's really easy to see that it's innate desire to just take this man outside and throttle him. But she nods and she's like, "I will see how close I can put his feet to the fire without being rude about it."
They expect you to know people in high places, Yin. Sometimes that's just as useful as knowing those people.
I feel like Yin is like a terrible liar, but like the only time she's really good at lying is like when she's like storytelling and like building the scene. Every
A
other
good
time
liar
she's
is housebound. She cannot help you.
like, "Yep." Um, she's just sort of nods and is like, "I will do my best to channel my inner Tilyura. Um,
I'm
How
sure. Go ahead.
no this she was gonna change the subject, so you can go ahead.
Oh, she was just gonna say, I'm sure you'll do just fine.
How are you
Thinking
feeling?
about thinking about Torland being like, Yin's in charge now.
Yeah, and this feels a cold chill somewhere. She's like, why do I feel like I'm in trouble? Um, are you? How are you feeling? Are you? I mean, of course you're in pain, but is there anything we can do?
I I'm
So, for
fine.
context, you are doing pretty good. Like in real world terms, you are probably feeling as good as if you had rested. If this would be like a 6 week injury, you feel like you're already at the 2 week mark,
Mhm.
right? Like by
Um,
the end of this week, you would be like after a week of rest, you would be at the 4 week mark, and then you could be walking again. That's like the
uh,
timeline we're on based on Stormlight.
I do think she takes a moment of like, obviously knee-jerk reactions to be like, it's okay, don't worry about it. But she does take a moment to sort of self uh analyze, inventory how she is feeling. I've certainly had better days, Yen, but all things considered, I'm doing better.
Uh, Gira watches Yin's face, kind of like there's a little bit of relief there, but then there's like this darkening as she uh is sort of like thinking back to when the injury happened. Um, you you didn't have to do that.
I I can admit to being sorry that we are in this position, Yen, but I will not bring myself to regret putting myself between you and danger.
And I suppose I will simply have to make you. Um, she says vaguely and threateningly.
Yen, can you give me an instinct roll? Instinct reaction roll, as I spent a fear.
Uh, okay.
Okay.
Well, it's
Do
a
you gain a
reaction roll,
hope?
so you don't get hope.
Oh yeah, you don't get hope. Yeah. Reaction roll, but on a 10, unfortunately, she says like, yeah, she doesn't regret it, and you believe her, but once again, it just sticks in your mind that is that really her talking, or is that the old magic that's forcing her to serve your best interest as if you were her daughter, which you are not.
No.
Uh,
Take Mark 2 stress.
okay.
Jesus.
Wow. 25 stress.
5 million stress.
Um, yeah, I do think that Yura does see that like instant recoil of
Oh,
the uh just like this like she ate something really sour, just angry almost, and she's like, you don't owe me anything. I put myself where I was. The consequences should have been mine. I would appreciate it if you didn't do that sort of thing in the future. I will do a better job of keeping myself out of those situations. And like very curtly just gets up and goes to leave to
Oh.
go do literally anything else.
Um, I think Yura is a little taken aback by the expression. Um, and there's a lot she could and wants to say, but I don't think she has time to do it before Yin goes.
You head out. Torlin, I assume, were like outside, just like killing some time, as you two head to the village, watering hole where people usually have some drinks late into the night. Upon getting there, you see it's not too boisterous or anything. There's a few villagers you've seen in the day, just like chull herders, farmers, the like. And then at like one of the tables, there's definitely someone that stands out. A light-eyed man, maybe in his late 20s, just a bit younger than Yin, likely, right? Fine leathers for like travel and use, but still like fine as if well maintained, well cared for, and more expensive than the type you just find in a village. He is sitting next to another, actually, Thalen man, right? Who is like, older, maybe late 40s, just like almost like talking to him, and you can read the body language, like, oh yeah, of course, sir, like very yes manning.
I think Torlin wants to pull it in either like right at the entrance or almost even right before they get in,
Hmm?
and just goes, I think I have something I want to try. So, and Torlin just kind of like studies in for a bit. Yeah, you're definitely gonna get mad at me for this one.
What?
Nothing. Just do your thing, but when we get in there, don't hit me. Cool? Cool.
Wow, Torlin's really racking up the Yin's gonna beat the crap out of him points today. She watches him go inside. It's like looks to the sky, like give me strength, and goes inside.
Here's a good question. As you go up, is Leaf with you?
Yes, Leaf is always with me.
Okay, good. Got it. All right.
Oh,
Torlin, you're entering first. Go for it. What do you do?
uh, yeah, no, I think, hmm. Torlin, is this a question about the place of this being place where people just come to drink? Is it still like okay, you still buy drinks and everything, or is it just like a hey, yeah, you're part of the village, come get
Yeah,
some?
it's like kind of open. Yeah, it's like open. It's like you don't really pay here. It seems like you can see that there are some coins on the table of the like Light Eyes and that Thalen guy next to him, but it seems like that's more because they're travelers. Yeah, they'll just pay whatnot, right? So like travelers
Mm.
pay, but the villagers don't look like they're paying. I will say like the way it looks, it's like an open. It's almost like a front patio with still a roof on, as if it's just very open space, right? Like they're just making do with this with like as almost a bar, even though it is really like just the front outside of someone's home.
Is this like a when a village is so small it doesn't have an inn or a tavern or anything?
Yes,
There's just somebody's house.
yes, exactly.
Oh,
I would like to use my wealth die to
Okay.
try and flex some wealth in a way that the other the uh Thalaman as well as the what's it called like regal looking light eyes can see in getting drinks. Do very much like a almost in a way of like a non-verbally getting on the same level before going to approach them.
Okay. Uh, let's do this. Roll your wealth die just to
Hmm.
see like how much money this seems to be eating out of your pocket.
Yeah. Come on, no one's, no one's, no one's.
Okay, very
Okay.
good. Now, I will say you can either roll me presence or you can just spend a hope to automatically succeed as you walk in there and just throw down your choice of sphere denomination.
I think Emerald's the max, right? What's one below that?
Um,
Sapphire? Or is it fire? Oh, ruby.
damn, I need to keep
Ruby
the
or
chart
sapphire.
on hand.
Well, we can just say for now, abstractly, a big one.
A big one. Uh, Amethyst Sapphire are below that. So just so you know, if you're doing a
Mm-hmm.
chip, that is about oh, because it seems like they're dealing with diamond chips, diamond marks right here, right? Like diamond chips are the lowest denomination. Um, and if you throw down, what are you throwing down again? You said
I think. Okay. I guess a good question would be, what are the chips that they're using right now? Is it the to pay for light eyes? Are they also using diamond chips?
yeah, like diamond chips and marks, right? Because that's how like cheap this would
Right.
be, right? Normally, you would probably maybe pay a if it was a nice place, right? A few diamond chips for a drink, but yeah, I'm gonna say like basically, I'll say you throw down a ruby mark, and that is 10, that's 50 times a diamond chip. So you're basically paying
Yeah.
10 times what they
Also,
are.
you got to be careful because some of the times they get stuck with it and if they have it, people will be like, "Oh, did you steal this?" And they're like, "No, it was given to me." And they're like, "Likely story, idiot."
Thankfully, you guys have your eye color to be like, oh yeah, they probably have it.
Yeah.
Oh, I even like by
Oh,
giving it to them.
Mm,
oh yeah. Like if they ever want to spend it.
Yeah, there's
I
there's a
think.
risk to having that much money.
Yeah, I think that
um,
works even better potentially to make Torlin look even more like an asshole. Okay.
Okay,
nice.
great.
Like he does not think things through. I like it. Okay, you throw it down. What do you say as you throw it down? You see
Uh,
there's like um, older, but maybe like a 30-year-old guy behind the bar, right? Dark
yeah.
eyes.
Okay. 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 Oi, barkeep, get me however many drinks it's gonna get me throughout the night. Cool. Cool. Without addressing him any further.
Okay, he's just like, um, yes, of course, right, Lord, and will gather chips and says, you see that the light-eyed guy, who you can assume is Tovalar, right? The huntsman says, "I'm spending quite a bit, kid. You gotta understand, this place doesn't have a real barkeep."
Make do. Besides, there's someone I want to impress in here. I heard there was a mighty fine huntsman that has made his way into town.
Oh, and he looks at you a little closer and says, "You're one of those that came in on that card a few days back, right?"
Mm-hmm. Very same. Uh, and what's it called? Assume like as drinks are arriving, Torla wants to take one as well as slide one over to uh slide one over to Tovalar. The very same.
Oh,
We need a place to stay and just looks around. It's the best place you can find. But seems
oh.
like you've been able to make merry here, eh?
Looks at the drink. "Thank you kindly, kid. Well, I, from what I heard, I thought it was a bunch of eerie travelers, but seems you're not one of those foreigners. You got some manners. Sit,
Of course, of course.
relax."
Yeah, it'd be my pleasure. As he sits to yeah. I want to give the general vibe before going to specific scenes. Torland absolutely wants to gas this guy out.
Okay.
120%. Yeah.
I think with that show money, buying him drinks and whatnot, and already you see the person next to him, you will learn his name is Dovet Ran. He is a merchant who's been stuck in town a bit because he's also like, oh yeah, I might as well wait for the hunt and then I will be around, right?
Hmm.
Um, he is also like yes manning and hyping man. So this guy's just eating it up, right? And
Yeah.
so I'll say like basically that's the tone. I'm gonna check in with Yin. Yin, are you just like listening to this on the outside, or what are you doing?
Yin got a 4 on her don't beat up uh, Torlin. So she's not gonna beat him up. So she is going to find someone in this house that she knows nearby this table, and she cocks her head to the side and grits her teeth when she hears this guy. Uh, actually, no, she'll go sit with someone else. Oh, actually, yes, she will.
So
She'll
you
go
do
sit with someone
walk
else for
in.
a second. I do walk in, yes.
Okay, because it's like such a there's like small town vibes, right? Everyone does notice when you walk in because you also do look like a foreigner, right? Even though you're
Yeah.
red eyes. So it's like, see, this is what I'm talking about. So you did come with some eerie.
Right, right. To, they take care of things while, helping out while we actually have to get the actual stuff done. You understand. Actually, oh God. Yeah, come here. That's what I like to introduce you to.
Yin has that same serene sort of like smile mask that Orlin is very familiar with at this point. He knows that behind that there is a storm coming.
I will spend a fear just so you guys know that this is not going to be a conversation you'll like. It says like,
Yeah.
well, a real eerie. I have not seen the like of you before. Now, is it true what they say? That you all go around like half naked out there in the West?
Well, I imagine that would be pretty cold, so no, sir, we don't do that.
Really? Well, you learn something new all the time, don't you? He takes a swig. You see the merchant individual next to him says like, well, I've met quite a bit of Iriali in my time to the West. They are quite good at traveling the roads. I've met a few merchants myself. They are quite, like, he seems to be like trying to like, was like, oh, okay, this could go bad. So like doing some back and forth. Says like, by the way, brightness, that on your shoulder, what is that?
Do I know the name of what leaf is? Have I learned that?
You
Or
probably
do I just know him
heard
as
it from the
Leaf?
smugglers, called it something like a larkin. So yeah, I'll say you know the name.
Okay. I don't know if she'll share that with this person, but she's like, this is my companion Leaf. Leaf, say hello.
Leaf like gives like a yawn, right? Like of disinterest.
Yeah, seeing what Torlin is doing, she will take out one of her more expensive pieces of currency to feed like very like theatrically to her creature as he sucks the stormlighter right out of it.
Dovit goes like, well, now isn't that peculiar? Your pet there, it can feed on stormlight straight from a seer.
It's his favorite snack, yes.
You see the huntsman says, well, I've never seen a creature quite like that. It's like a skyle with carapace. Do they get any bigger? Or are they always that size?
Well, I've not seen another one, but Leaf used to be about the size of my palm and is now a shoulder workout, at the very least. And she's
Really?
like just idly petting Leaf, like giving little scritches behind the thing, like partially to like make herself seem at ease, but also Leaf knows that like when she's doing this, she's like
for her to calm down.
jaded. Yeah.
This is like,
Uh,
really, wow, grown that much. Yeah. And you don't look that old yourself, so it couldn't have been that many years. And it says, what do you think, merchant? Like, how much would one of these things cost usually? Says, well, Bright Lord, I wouldn't know how to put a price on this. I've never seen a creature like this, but, well, if, and he's looking around, just like, maybe if the brightness is willing to put a price on it, we could enter some negotiations, I'm sure.
Unfortunately, Leaf is a priceless creature to me, and has been my companion for so long that I could never, ever dream of separating with him. but I appreciate your interest in his novelty at the very least.
Oh, come
Oh, I
now.
must say,
Everything's got
speaking
a
of,
price, right? You can sell a chull or two easily. Heck, they even sell those things from old Shin, those horse things.
Uh, Yin sort of sits back in her chair and like her serene smile sharpens a little bit, and she's like, "And how much were you paid to deal with the white spine lurking outside this village, if I could ask?"
Ah, my reputation does precede me. Well, I've been canvassing the area. Quite a pretty sphere is coming down from the good High Lord over on the city to the north, but mostly canvassing for now, getting things all prepared for when the Bright Lord wants to come down for his hunt.
right, right, of course, you can't rush someone like something again. That was a watch your tone a little bit. Come on.
Exactly,
Uh,
exactly.
who is the Bright Lord to the north? Would you know?
Um, Not really. Probably a no-name Bright Lord, very like low on the totem pole, right?
Okay. Uh,
Like,
Yin sort of shoots Torlin a look, but just quiet for a moment. She's like, "My apologies. I simply, I've concerned since one of our companions took a pretty hefty wound from it. I was wondering when it would be safe to leave again."
oh, oh, so that was true. That's why you're resting in this backwires village. Well, my apologies, Brightness, for the injury, but like I've told my good friend David, the merchants, the caravans, you can most likely pass through. The creature is more of an ambush predator. If it sees you straggling or sees some other complication happening, then it might try to take a jump on things. But if you are moving in a large caravan, chulls and all that, right, it's not going to try.
Well, that's good to know.
So she's she wants to fucking pull this man into the trap of the hole that he has dug for himself. But it's just like looking to Torlin like very surreptitiously, but it's like, you have something to do. You better do it now before I destroy this man.
Yeah. Totally just goes like, wow, you know a lot about these kind of things. I guess makes sense. Your reputation as a huntsman is precedes you. And I want to ask, can I make a knowledge check to see if I can remember who that Bright Lord is? I just want to like bring up a
I'll
name
even.
of like, oh, I know
You don't
you.
even need a knowledge check for it. I'll ask you right now. You can decide the name. Like it is really much like it is someone on the totem pole that you would be aware of, but would not have mattered, like politically.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Like to
Uh,
give you influence, like Corin Danal, who is Alaran's father, who now is
hmm,
Davenar's High Lord, has higher station than this Bright Lord.
gotcha. Okay. Well, Holder. Does that sound light eyes enough? That feels, yeah. High Lord Holder.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, perfect sense why a High Lord Holder has you on, keeps you around. A very good thing about the man too. It's a good to show character on both your guys' ends to be working together like this.
Yeah. You see, Tovar is like drunk enough that he doesn't even notice like you bringing up the name versus he telling you exactly who he is, and so it's like,
Mm,
you're right. Like honestly, just between good old people that don't have all the power up in their head, like Holder's been he's a bit slow in things, like to move at his own pace. Like we could have dealt with this, but he's waiting on some other high lords to visit him so that he can make a real spectacle of the sport. If he can show them a
mm.
good time with this hunt, then he's hoping to increase his breadth of influence.
Right, right. No, it makes sense, absolutely. Though, I'm a bit curious about what your because you mentioned you just already on me, and I just pushed another drink towards him. With your information about the West Man itself, what other hunts have you gone on? What other experience have you wrapped up at this point?
I think he'll go into detail of like, oh yeah, he's hunted like more juvenile white spines before. Nothing like as large as this one, who seems to be a fair seasoned. And like I don't know all the fucking fauna,
Yeah,
but
no,
like
don't
probably
worry.
something
It
else that's
just
like
goes into
not up to a level, like a minx or something
yeah.
on his own time.
I think yeah, I'm gonna speak out loud a little bit, out of characters of working through this. The idea is the huntsmen themselves wouldn't actually go out to hunt the creature. Then he's supposed to wait until the High Lord gets here, or
Yes, like he has the jurisdiction to hunt on High Lord's lands as well as like deal with certain things, right? A white spine is enough where you need a hunting party usually. And so his job, you would know, is basically canvassing and preparing things for the hunt so that when quote unquote the like, guard or in this case the bright lords that want to, feel the sport of the hunt get here, they have
Mhm.
everything planned out for them. It's like, oh yeah, okay, we'll have this event planned out for you so you can reap the rewards of feeling like a big boy.
Gotcha, makes sense.
And here's the thing, he does complain about the Bright Lord taking his time, but at the same time, he's not complaining in that he's worried about the people here. He's like saying like, okay, yeah, I would like, get
Rather
paid
be
to
the
go
city.
do the next thing, but at least I get to just stay here and drink for free because I'm on the
Right.
Bright Lord's time.
So okay, so he has a jurisdiction to hunt the White Spine and to help the people, but he chooses not to because again, the more important thing is for the sake of the High Lord kind of
Well,
thing.
no, he is paid to canvass and so prepare the hunt, right? He has jurisdiction if he has to, but he's literally being hired to just prepare the hunt in advance.
I see.
Well, I'd hate to see you languishing here when there's other monsters to fight, but maybe we should send a message to the Bright Lord to let him know that the Bright Lady has been injured and that now that there's an issue, the problem should be solved a little faster. She says to Torlin more than she says to the hunter himself.
The hunter, who's like, after all the drinks for him, he was in a bit of stupor, is like a little confused and slowly putting together. But the merchant's like, oh, apologies, we did not ask, but um, your names as well as the Bright Lady you serve, the one she was injured?
Torlin looks over here towards the end.
Well, our Bright Lady is visiting family currently, and I think would appreciate a bit of privacy. Uh, my name is Yin. And then she looks to Torlin and gives him a name that like it means like idiot in Iriali, but no one knows that except for her.
That's right, my name is dude.
Uh,
Make the word right now. What's idiot in Iriali?
uh, fucking. I don't know. Um,
You did
my
diet.
my immediate thought was baka, and I was like, that's Japanese. You
That's
idiot.
funny.
Let's do. I'm back on Stormlight name generator. Let's do. Leshet.
Yeah, a little shit, less shit.
Well, yep.
Spell it Leshet.
E.T.
Et. Okay. Nice.
Leshet.
Okay, you say Yin and Leshet. I was like, oh, yes, of course. And your family names.
We have a decision to make here.
Because that what sets the Light Eyes apart. Light Eyes have family, like, and family names they come from. That's how they will know you.
Right.
Gin's like, can I get away with stealing the last name of the people we're going to go see?
I don't know, go for it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Take the risk.
What is the last name of the people we're going to go see?
So the people
Like
you're,
happen?
or the people you're
The
meeting
high.
with, the Nulls.
Yeah, Denals. Uh,
Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah.
uh, Yin like plays being like kind of embarrassed and like uh oh, how could I like claim this name? But she's like, oh, I'm ashamed to admit it's distant relation, but we are on our way to see the Denals.
Oh,
Go speak with your Chastian. Of course, yes, we're part of the Null family. Distant relations, but come on, you ought to be proud.
it's so obvious if he wasn't drunk. Tovalar is like, wait, the Nulls? But then you see Doved was like, oh, you mean the Denals, the High Lords of Davenar? I'm so sorry that we did not recognize it sooner. The Bright Lady then is a relation of Bright Lord Corin, and
Is Corin a person that we're gonna go see?
that's Alaran's
Gorin is like
father,
the
who
head of
is the
the
High
yeah.
Lord of. He is basically the highest ranked Denal, quote unquote.
Okay, great. Uh, do we know
What can we get away
any
with
of
here?
like is Corin not a real Denal? That is he trying to catch me in a
No, he
lie?
is. He is the
No.
realest Denal.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Like, what can we get away with here? We definitely can't get away with something like wife, but could we get away with something
Basically,
like daughter or sister?
these guys are, yeah, like what the information you gave them is equivalent of these guys are like, yeah, we're on this big job for the second, the mayor, right? And you're like, oh yeah, by the way, we know the governor.
My horse is bigger than your horse.
Yeah.
Um,
My dad can kill your dad.
that could kill your dad. And my dad only has no feet and one arm.
No.
Uh, she's like, yes, what is the reason we're going to the Denals again?
Because you are meeting with
Oh.
Hatham, the high prince of that region.
Okay.
And political connections
Great.
and networking is like,
Okay.
bottom line.
Yeah. Um. Hmm.
You got this, kid.
Great. Thanks. Yeah, I think Yin just sort of
Like I will even say like as you start talking, like you literally said the thing that puts you in the position of power now. Like I already knew in my head like okay, if they mention like you couldn't mention many people because the other names are literally part of Rathalas FL. The Denals are literally your like the family name with influence that you can call on, and so the fact that you mentioned them first means you are in a position of power. So almost anything you say from here will carry that weight.
okay. And what was the most recent question?
Oh yeah, so
For
you
what
are
purpose?
relation of Corin, right? The Bright
Oh,
Lord
right.
of Davenar.
Yes. Yeah. We'll just uh sort of like cover her mouth, sort of like like demure and shyly, just like. But you mustn't tell anyone. We're trying to keep a low profile.
Okay. I will say, go ahead, Yin. Give me a presence check, right? The DC is decreased because of, the Dedal name. But if you fail, there is a good chance he just thinks you're making bullshit up, right?
Could I use Weaver of Tales and History to give myself a +2?
Yes, because this is not your tale. This is someone else's tale you're adopting. Yes. I'll also say,
Oh.
Torlin, if you would like to help,
I
this is a
would.
good point to help.
No, I'm allowed to do that actually.
You could
You're
help.
not allowed to do that?
Could
Is it too late or?
you
No, you can help.
could my inspirational just s advice to Yen earlier count as a rally?
It could have, yeah.
Oh shit, cool. How do I roll a rally
Would
die?
But you
the
just add
one,
1d6.
yeah.
I'm sure that fear will come back to bite us.
Okay,
Oh,
Okay.
wait.
so I'll say on without a doubt, you see that Tovalar is like that instant when you can see someone's eyes and they're like sobering just because of physical reflex of like, oh shit, this is gonna be really bad if I'm drunk for this. And Dovet is kind of like you see his body language change from leaning towards Tovalar to now leaning towards you guys, just because like the positioning, and says like, "What I that is a tremendous tragedy that a a Denal was injured. Bright Lord Tovar, we must uh, let hold the Bright Lord Holden know right away. This is well, surely he would not want such danger to come on the road to light eyes of such a station." And Tovar is like, "No, yes, of course, you're right. You're correct. Yes, no, I will send news tonight even." And you see he's like stuttering. He's like, "Oh shit, wait. What are the implications of this? This is really bad if, like, you're saying is true and it comes back and basically the blame game is going to start and that blame game just goes and circles down to the people below them, which he knows is going to be him."
Yeah, but in this instance, usually Yin cares about the little guy. Yin wants this dude to solve this problem.
Yeah.
I think
Because while he's sitting drinking all of these villagers' alcohol, they could get killed, and he's just hanging out.
I think Torlin looks over towards Tovalar. Is like, yes, it is a shame what happened to her. It's something we do wish to see amended, but as soon as possible. We were and again, same situation. Don't let I know we told you this, but there are certain people that we're looking to meet to form connections, and at some point there is well, a certain nearby High Lord that we would have loved to have a conversation with, but to make sure that can happen, there are steps we must take, and well, you know how it is. Though at this point, and Torlin looks directly at Tolar's eyes, I don't mean to pressure you, push you in any way, but to delay any further might fare or look even worse for your High Lord, for High Lord Holden. At this point, maybe it's better to take revenge as soon as possible, and then we can
What
go about. Hmm?
kid? What are you saying?
And
Revenge as soon as possible. We was just what the militia here, and you see he's like sputtering. His drunkenness is coming back, and the merchant pipes up again and says, I'm sure there is sense to be said here." And he's kind of like, you see, like he is not drunk much, so he is sober, and he's been able to catch a lot. And says, looking at both sides, Yin, your inherent insight of people and understanding of spread around them, you do see there's a lot of fear spread gathering on that roll with fear. Like, yes, they believe what you said, but on the end of Tovar, you see fear spread gathering. And he's like, okay, will he actually take action? Or he's like, shit, my goose is cooked. I gotta just get out, right? Is the danger here. And
Yeah, I think Yin
mhm.
sees this, and she reaches like across the table to sort of like put her hand over his, uh, and like give it like a comforting squeeze, and is like, I hope we didn't startle you with, I this is why we don't, speak about uh our standing so much. I don't want to scare you by any means, but if you can get this problem solved sooner rather than later, I would very much appreciate it.
Tolar like calms down and is like, oh, no, yes, of course. It's just that, and Dovet comes in again and says like, well, of course, the good party here would appreciate their privacy, so maybe there is a need to allow Holden to know that a Denal is injured. And he like looks at you as if confirming. As long as the problem is dealt with post haste.
Absolutely. And if, something happened, let's say the white spine uh, were to incur an accident, some kind of terrible thing were to happen, that the hunt were to be canceled for it, and maybe there was no Donald here to be injured after all.
Of course, yes, no. But yes, no. And there's a bit of like back and forth considering like in the subtext that we don't have to all go through, they're basically like, okay, hey, you don't tell you don't let the news out that a Denal was injured, so it doesn't get back to my boss who will have to take the brunt of it, which then puts the blame on me, if will hurry this thing along, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Roland's going to lean forward because he wants to add pressure in one more way. Huntsman Tovalar, I know you're a man of honor and of strength, and a man who's had a lot to drink tonight. Maybe this decision can wait till morning, and you can take more time to properly consider it.
Yes, of course. No, let me. If we don't need to send news tonight, then I will think how best to approach the situation in the morning. And I'll say with that, he does stand up and go off, right, drunkenly
Yeah.
to think things over and rest.
Torlin's gonna stand up and follow him to try and help assist, basically like, yeah, if this guy's stumbling, uh, show a good faith of trying to help him to his room
Sure.
or
He
wherever he
like
stays.
stumbles a
Yeah.
bit, but he's like, "No, I'll be fine, kid," because he's still like, you know, he still tries
Fair
to
enough.
keep some distance. So it's up to you.
Basically, I just want to be with him until the point where other people can't see him anymore,
Okay. Yeah.
and then come back into that. Oh, this is stupid. Come back into that like gathering place. And how many people are still here? Is it
Okay.
still like
Well,
a
okay.
decent?
Since you're gone for a bit, right?
Yeah, yeah, true.
Dovet is going to talk to Yin a bit. No, that's some interesting tales you spin. I don't know I believe as much as our drunk friend here, but I can approve of the direction things are moving. I would like to be able to leave the village if the roads are open up again.
Well, I'm glad I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm glad that you'll be benefiting from this at the very least.
Well, of course, brightness. I may be a bit drunk myself, so I might wander in my speech, but I'll have you know, as much as it seems you wish to perhaps avenge your friend's injury against the White Spine, I doubt the huntsman here will be able to do much of a job with just him and the few militia guardsmen here. He'll still need to somehow convince the Bright Lord Holden to post haste send guards down.
Do you have some sort of idea on how to make that happen?
Well, I guess I could put in a word on the more mercantile deficits on the road being blocked, but I don't know. That's more so other caravans profit, not mine. And you see, he's like basically like, hey, I can see you want something. I'm a merchant. I supply and demand. So if there's something I can do for you that will help you, just make it worth my while.
I see. I don't. Do I have money?
Do you have basic funds, right? But once again, he's a merchant that gives and provides all types of wares. So his between the line proposition is like, hey, I can make this problem even faster. Basically, right now, I will just say above board, we're looking at still a week. It would take at least for even if Tovlar is on your side, like, no, we need to deal with this fast. He would need to either convince Brightler Holden or just get other guards, right, to just come down here to kill him, right?
Yeah.
It
Well,
would
at this
still
point,
be
Ian is.
Mm.
At this point, Ian is just like, I will help kill it if I have to.
That would, change things, right? The merchant isn't thinking about that because he doesn't know your combat capabilities, right? The merchant is just providing, okay, from that 1 week, we can lower it, right? By maybe to 5 or 4 days instead if he also makes it so the Bright Lord knows like the merchants are suffering and that's bad for him. If you yourself were like, okay, no, I'm willing to help kill it myself with the huntsman, then you don't need to worry about this merchants thing.
Yeah. I think Yin is like, well, I appreciate your offer of investment. However, I don't have anything that I am willing to trade in response for that, and I, at this point, am willing to get my hands a little bit dirty. And she sort of like shifts her like very prettily woven like outer cape that she has to show that like she has like a weapon. Um, she's like, at this point, I'm willing to help solve the problem myself.
I see. Well, it seems our good huntsman misjudged you on more than just one account. You may be irreality, but it seems the Alethi customs have bled into you as well.
She sort of like leans in a little bit, like that's like she's saying like a little secret, and she's like, the Iriali wouldn't travel very far if they didn't know how to defend themselves. Um, uh, and she will slide one of Torlin's like 8,000 drinks over to him, and she's gonna get up and find out where they went because she does not trust him to be alone with this guy.
Yeah, you'll hear just mumbling, and the Thalen know that there's more than just one way to defend ourselves as you leave him with the drink. Torlin, you do get the guy settled on what seems to be one of the nicer houses in town that he once probably secured by having the village chief move the family out of the way, right? He gets settled. Is there anything you want to do, basically, as he's like entering and expecting you to just, leave?
I think, honestly, not as much. It really is just like, yeah, again, sign of good faith of, hey, helped you get home, and then Torlin does want to head back to uh, the not inn, or not tavern.
Sure. Yeah, I think you meet up with Yen about like, most of the way when you're almost back.
I think the only thing he...
No, go ahead.
Okay. I think
Say
the
your
one
last
thing
word.
Torlin will do as he leaves is really study Tovalar's face.
Okay.
Memorize every facial feature, every little like nook, cranny, ridge, that kind of thing, even down to the redness of the cheeks. And on his way back, he wants to slip into an alleyway, and I want to use uncanny disguise.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, I forgot about this.
As Yin, you see, if this works, Yin, you see Tovalar walking back.
Yeah, Yin, give me. Let's see. Just give me an instinct roll. Instinct reaction roll.
Oh shit, sorry. I didn't mean to do that fear roll, sorry.
It's okay. I will subtract the fear. I'll say you're not suspicious yet, but I'll let you know when you are suspicious. And you do see him coming back, the huntsman.
Yeah, I'm gonna add some extra red to the cheeks, make him look extra drunk, and then look over towards Yin, and for a second, Turtle's like, oh shit, whatever, Dirty Alley Girl, come follow me, I have an announcement to make. And head back into the...
Yin has half a mind to put a fucking knife between this dude's ribs. But she follows. And I think, like, if there's one of the townspeople that she has, like, gotten to know over the course of the time that they've been here, if they're witnessing this, she just looks at them as this guy has his back to her, and she just rolls her eyes and is like, following.
Yeah, fucking just fully in character of Tovalar, fucking slamming the door open to the hopefully crowd of people that are still here.
Just checking one thing.
Hmm?
What is your? Yeah, how many tokens do you have on this card? Three,
Two. Or,
two.
yeah, because knowledge is my spellcasting trait.
Oh, knowledge. Okay, so I'm not gonna have it drop immediately. You know, when you're out of tokens, but you'll know like you won't be able to take a major action afterwards, and we'll need it to drop.
Yeah.
One of your things was unfortunately just convincing Yin in the moment that like, oh yeah, you are him.
That's so reasonable, actually. Yeah.
But now, yes, you enter the tavern with skipping your step. Tovalar is back. It says like, "Oh, Bright Lord." Dovetus says like, "You have returned. I thought you were resting for the night."
I have an announcement to make. I thought about it, and I have decided. On the
Yes.
morrow, I will rid this village of Grainken of that wretched white spine. I vow it. I vow it on my honor and my and my pride that it will be no more. That is
Oh.
all. And I'm trying to fake a burp.
Um. Well, good showing, Bright Lord, and you see some like whispers and whatnot, but the others are a little silent. They're like, "Should we?" The drunk guy who's been just drunk the last few days he's been here says like, um, "Of course, sir. Yes. Of course, Bright Lord."
And what's it called? Just kind of like squints around, looking at them, and I was like, "Oh shit, I'm losing them." Okay.
I'm losing them.
And if I don't, what the fuck can I even say here? Hmm. And if I don't, I will abandon my title as huntsman, for I will not deserve it. You can let High Lord Holden know that himself. And
It's
then
like
start.
upon you like
Yeah.
swearing that, a lot of them look and like, you know, honor and what that doesn't mean as much to, you know, the dark guys of a village, but like you swearing that and then even putting a stipulation on like what you'll do if you don't do it. Like everyone's like actually starting to get a little belief in you, even if you are drunk, and just like starts clapping and like cheers of support, even if it's not like, you know, applause. It's like, yeah, we'll keep you to that, right?
Hey, the Alethi love an oath.
They sure
Yeah.
do.
Uh,
Yid is just like like awkwardly like half clapping, like what the fuck is happening right now? Where is Torlin?
Okay.
and now, I, for my glorious battle tomorrow, must get my rest. Good night,
Okay.
village of Grainken.
I'm gonna ask you, Torlin, to
Yeah.
spend one hope if you
Yeah.
want. Basically, give me one
Mhm.
or two hope spent, right? Depending on how much of an impression you want this to make. Even if you spend one hope, that's still a good impression. Two hope, it will be like if this guy does not go through with it, it's going to be disastrous on his life.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put two hope. So I'm so down. Yeah.
Okay, you leave that much of an impression, and you see Dovet, who's the other like merchant here. He's just thinking and like in his head, and he's like he takes it seriously. The other villagers take it seriously enough that they're gonna be talking about this for like multiple nights to come. That no matter what, word is gonna leak out of this promise.
I ruined this guy's life. It's great. Okay.
I ruined his
Yeah. I think at that point, Torlin's like, okay, hopefully that worked. I need to leave. I can't stay here anymore. I can feel the face paint melting off my face. I need to go.
Mm-hmm. You slip
Um,
out the front. I will say because this would have been your second action.
yeah.
Tovlar is a bit taller than you, Torlin. And so what you kind of did is you stuffed your boots, right? And Yin sees that your foot placement fucks up on the step to leave, and you trip a bit. And that's when your suspicion raises. You know, I was like, wait a minute, right? That's not just a drunk person stumbling. This guy's not used to walking at that height.
Do I know that Corlin can do this? Have I ever been made aware of this, or is this a new thing for Yin?
I think
Because it
I
depends.
think this.
It's going to change how Yin reacts to this.
Hmm. Ash, what do you think?
Um, I don't think Yin knows about your spy work, but if you
Yeah.
want Yin to know this is a potential of Torlin's ability, then maybe he did something like as a prank around the estate, right? Like pretending
Yeah.
to be one of the servant kids and then running off with a snack or treat, right?
Yeah. I think maybe it's like a memory from a while ago of when the disguise was much more sloppy, of Torlin pulling something like this.
Like
Just
I think there
Yin,
was one time Yin you came back and you gave the cells to a stable hand, but then later realized it was Torlin who went on a joyride with your cell in the cart to town as a way to get away.
oh, so you're telling me I beat the tar out of this kid before? Fantastic. Yin closes her eyes and takes a deep breath and turns around to follow him out. And is like, well, that was an inspiring speech.
why, thank you, you're like, girl, you should probably go home now. And I'm just like holding a hand to my face to hope that the disguise doesn't completely fall off. As I will do the same.
She
Haha.
just she just rolls her eyes. And she's like, if you ever call me Eerie Alley Girl ever again, I'm gonna knock you out of the cart and you can walk the rest of the way. And she just goes back home.
You all return for the night and find some rest, having put things in motion. As I will say, the next day marks a week of rest that you've had. Talira, you are good enough to walk. Over this course of the week, you each have spent some time outside, but in these last few days, you haven't had to leave anyone behind to watch Talira as much, right? Teravon has been missing more and more often. You don't notice it, you two, when you get home, but Teravon is not actually at home that night. Um,
Oh,
that next
no.
morning, who would be the first to wake?
Era.
Tyria. What dream do you have that ends in a scream? Or not a scream, but a cry of like anguish.
I was just thinking about how, like, this, even though it's much shorter and she, like, actual recovery is on the horizon for her, Yin and Torlin being gone and such, and, like, her having to be doted on, um, like, I think she hasn't consciously thought about it, but it, I think once the sort of like a sort of helpless loneliness sets in, she can't not imagine that this is just a little bit of what Varen felt. And I think that thought plaguing her probably means that she at some point does dream about Varen. And I think that maybe the dream is that she's the one uh, fighting Gavilar.
Okay. In your dream of fighting Gavilar, you put up a good front, you're protecting your family behind you,
Yeah.
and then Kalahar dies. And then the foot stomps your arm, and it's your own cry of anguish that as you jolt awake from the dream,
Yeah.
you still hear it, as that cry of anguish is from outdoors and outside. The rest of you wake. Mm-hmm.
Oh, she jolts awake, and there's like the immediate like the hand that in the dream was not crushed going to the arm that was crushed and making sure it's like still there. And then she's immediately like locked into the cry, trying to figure out where it's coming from.
You all awake. Talir, you are strong enough to make it out, even though, slowly and whatnot. The others two are faster than you. And you guys approach, and I will spend a fear, as this is where we'll leave the session. You all make it outside to hear that a certain teen village girl, Silu, did not come back last night, and this morning her body was found gored through just outside the village.
Ooh.
And that's where we're at the session.
You had this fucking neighborhood, and then you do this? God.
You give it and you take it away.
Good thing we're gonna kill it that tomorrow.
Good thing
Fucking
you're
better
gonna
not.
try to kill it.
Oh my god.
Also, where did Teravon go? What's he doing?
He's fucking hunting! That stupid motherfucker!
Yeah, luring it into the village to kill people.
But good job, guys.
Yin is about to be a vision of blood.
I was like, damn, I'm gonna hurt yet again when I kill Silu in a sec.
God. Oh my
I
god.
should have
Great
known.
session.
I should have known when you were like, oh, like make a person that like is your friend now. I should have known that you were gonna take it and you were gonna break it right in front of me.
Yin
And
Red.
Yin doesn't
Yeah.
have friends. They all die or become jilted spies.
Is there
I'll
like a distant cousin in Yin's memory?
be honest.
Yeah.
From the moment I asked you, like, yeah, hey, we passed this village. There's, describe for me these villagers that wave to you as they pass. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna kill that person.
Oh
Oh my god.
But
Yeah.
you guys made a ton of progress. I did not think you were actually going to not just convince him, but put the fear of God in him to the point of like, oh shit, I need to fucking hunt this thing right now.
Yeah. Well, this is what
Really?
Yin was trying to avoid, and now she feels like she failed.
Yeah.
Ugh. She's gonna whip this dude through the streets until he goes and does it.
But at the very least, if you do decide to kill, now you will have definitely his assistance as well as the like militia side, because they're easy. Like, oh yeah, hey, we're gonna go kill it right now, guys. But yeah, good job.
Fucking really?
It was fun. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but it was a nice slower session. Not too much like happening, more just roleplay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was nice.
Character
It was...
I want to use Deaf Deceiver and also Tell No Lies so badly.
What do those do?
Deaf Deceiver, it makes Yura good at lying, and Tell No Lies makes people not be able to lie to her.
Oh,
Oh, dude, you should have used that on Ian. That would have been so good.
Tell No Lies?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there
I'm not
eventually.
gonna don't worry. We just gotta hurt each other first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel so bad for like Yin like trying to like distance herself emotionally from Yura. And it's also gonna be really sad when she gets to town and she has to emotionally distance herself from the rest of the family.
Oh.
And she doesn't want them to die.